right now, Musi level bam. Now listen, every Tuesday and Friday, beyond the time it's going to carry Braille, our Ghana Talks Radio, 7 p.m. sharp. Now Tuesday, and we're gonna talk about our culture, our history. Matuni ding setete abako sem. No on the Friday, and you bars on bars. You better rap, you better say it. No artists go join me in the studio. We're gonna discuss about music and business. Konya, or you singer, and now you rapper, you think say you get bars. You go fi spit fire. Now listen, make you join me with studios. Our Ghana Talks Radio, and yes, say then our day. Me say download the Ghana Talks Radio app on our Play Store, any App Store. Na tune in, and say this what you see. Baba live on Facebook, Kointakra, any Ghana Talks Radio page. And so now listen, I bet you fire. 1 year, Konya, Wading, Jajan.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with Ghana Talks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With Ghana Talks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. Ghana Talks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
Ghana Talks Radio, UK, Abrochimebo, era from Ghana Muha at the sound system, which is spinning machine papa, a free amana never be good among Ghana Muha. It is a year, engagement, we wedding, we birthday party. Political parties are more rally, some more sorry, more crusade. So we'll book carnival or any kind of event. Now we'll pay spinning machine papa a boa sound in the moon at the dia any may come for GTR sounds at the Emao. Your live band in so our tones at the frame, ye beat me ababeboa. Ama ujumedia woody and so at me I come up. Yawa enkan pupuni mantemo anya aponchi hotel a hope pepe ena yebutu odi an se wo be frɛ mpanifo ɛwɔ 0546960510 GTR sounds emu de angaza.
And welcome to Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. It's a beautiful brand new day and we are here to bring you the latest headlines making waves in the news, from politics to business, sports to entertainment and everything in between. We've got you covered with the most relevant stories shaping the nation and beyond. I am your host, Esinam Fiagbedu. Joining me today on the newspaper review is Omari and Regina Bless. Good morning to my beautiful panelists. Good morning.
Beautiful Good panelists. Morning.
Beautiful? I said beautiful because the last time we had an interview,
Madam Omari.
So you should understand that it was deliberate. Good morning, Madam Omari.
Good morning, Miss Stacy.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you too?
How was the weekend?
It was marvelous. I would say, yeah.
It was a good one for you.
Yeah,
I saw you chilling with the big boys.
That wasn't me.
I now don't do that.
It's
it was
true.
you I saw. It was you I saw. Regina,
Yeah.
I saw you in your white and red heels.
Mm.
Did you go to church? Or you passed? You
On
were still
Friday.
in a Valentine mood.
Regina went to church on Friday.
Yeah, I went
Oh, really? What time?
around 6.
6 p.m.
Yeah.
When did you close?
Are you sure you went to church
Oh,
at
I
6
went to
p.m.?
church. Yes. I went to church.
I see that. If you said you went to church, then
I went
that's
to
fine.
church.
Who
I
am
sent you a picture, and I was obviously in the church premises. You saw everything. How are you now, Yimima? Yimima.
You don't mind. By the way, you are looking gorgeous.
Thank you. You also look beautiful.
It's a beautiful.
Corporately.
Yeah, I mean, honestly speaking, you ladies are looking like
Oh, thank
beautiful.
you.
You're looking
Thank you.
beautiful as well. when you
Yeah.
get married.
Yeah.
Yes.
Miss Stacy.
Okay.
Yeah. So what do you have for the review this morning? What are the
For
news
the
making
review this
headlines?
morning is a whole lot, but we have summarized the most relevant one to give to our audience.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's move to the headlines. Ghana government to pay cocoa farmers 70% of world market price. The Minister for Food and Agriculture, Eric Opoku, has announced that the government will offer cocoa farmers 70% of the world market price for their produce, exceeding the initially proposed 60%. This decision aims to motivate farmers, increase production, and strengthen Ghana's position as the world's second largest producer of cocoa. The announcement follows the minister's earlier remark in Parliament, where he emphasized the need to encourage cocoa farmers to enhance production and support the country's economy. These were the words of the Minister for Food and Agriculture, Mr. Eric Opoku.
Okay. I think I wouldn't even say a good call, it's a great call.
Yeah.
When I read it yesterday, I was like, wow, that's the way to go.
Yeah.
Because when you look at the agricultural sector, in fact, the Ghanaian economy, and I will always say this, our strength lies in agriculture as an economy. And one of the biggest players in the agricultural sector for Ghana is our cocoa. We have the capacity at our cocoa processing center to produce about over 61,000 tons of cocoa every year. But do you know that for quite some time now, under the previous administration, we had a challenge of producing cocoa to even up to 10,000. We were producing just about 6,000.
Yeah, I think we were the first. Were we the first largest producers of
No,
cocoa?
we were second.
We were second,
Yeah, in the
and
entire world.
we are still in that position as the second
No,
largest.
we are not. We were second when we used to produce about 60,000 and above.
Okay.
Right now we are producing a little over 6,000.
Okay.
How do we maintain our second position?
Yeah.
And that is one of the things that has really caused the economy that blow of it. Because cocoa alone gives us over $500 million every year.
Wow.
Yes, as revenue. And we haven't been able to match that target for quite some time now because of the downstream in our cocoa produce. So this engagement by the agricultural minister, Mr. Eric Opoku, is a really great call. I remember before they were coming to power, their initial proposal was to increase it to about 60% because the government before was just doing about 28 to 30%
Okay.
to the cocoa farmers.
Okay.
I mean, that's a cheat. That is a
Yeah.
cheat because
Yeah.
government was taking about 70% and the
Yeah.
farmer is taking 30%.
I
Why?
quite remember a farmer made a statement that if this is what they are getting in return, then they will sell their lands to the Galamsey
Yeah,
miners.
to the Galamsey miners.
Yeah.
And I mean, unfortunately, he was right because they were being cheated.
Okay.
They were. So if, and that is why most people were smuggling cocoa into different countries,
Yeah.
our neighboring countries,
Yeah.
because they felt like, okay, when we take it to this place, we might even get a better pricing than what they are giving
what-
us in our own
In your own country.
country.
Yeah.
So that was the reason behind it. So if right now they are able to come up with such assurance, I believe that it is really going to encourage the cocoa farmers and even people who are yet to enter into agriculture to go into cocoa farming. Because if you are getting 70%,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great call.
It's a great call.
Yeah.
And that alone will encourage them to put in more hard work and
Yes,
produce
yes.
cocoa.
And I don't know. I really like this agric minister
Yeah.
because he seems to understand the sector
Yeah.
very, very well.
Yeah.
Some of the projections he makes, it gives you that assurance and encouragement
Mhm.
as a farmer
Yeah.
or as a citizen that, okay, yes, our agric is going to make some.
We
So
are
very
just
cool.
hoping that it wouldn't be just words, but it
Yeah,
should be put
yeah.
in action
We
as
really
well.
hope so.
And that will help us all
We
as a
really
country.
hope so. Because I don't know the reason behind going overboard of their initial 60% proposal.
Mhm.
Now they are doing 70. Well, they know what they're seeing, so yeah. Anna Reggie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miss Regina.
Excuse me. So he has said a lot, and I don't know. I don't know what to say. Oh God, today, dear. Thank you. So he has said a lot, almost all my points. I pardon you, but next time. So first of all, I would applaud the agric ministry
Yeah.
because they've really putting in a great job. I don't know, but I say this government, they are really doing well. They are putting in steps to make sure almost everyone is comfortable. It doesn't make sense that I'm a farmer, I would produce something, then another person is taking huge profits out of that thing.
Yeah.
Why should I produce something then you an outside, not an outsider per se, but you the government will be taking larger amounts from that?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. And
It wasn't
I would
making sense.
I would also support them if they say that I would no longer give government my cocoa. I would rather smuggle it out of the country and get a larger percent than what I'm getting in Ghana here. So with what you said, I would agree with you, and also I would applaud the ministry, as I said earlier, because it's a very good initiative and it's a great step to combat smuggling of cocoa outside Ghana.
A very great step. I think it's going to really help
Yeah,
combat
yeah.
that. Because whatever you are going to get outside, if you are getting in here, then why do you
Then
risk
why do
Yeah.
you
that
do it?
illegality?
Yeah.
And they've also mentioned that they are going to resume giving them the free fertilizers for their
Okay.
products. So I
Okay.
think that's a great
Okay.
call.
Okay.
It used to be under the administration of the NDC
Okay.
sometime before they left power.
Mhm.
But when the government changed, it went back to default, and
yeah.
the people were really complaining. There were instances where fertilizers were kept hoarded by, I mean, ministers and MPs.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Yeah.
From the farmers. They needed it. What in ton grandma or
Yeah.
what ton
And what's the gain in it for you to keep
Yeah,
fertilizers meant
that you
for
are not
production?
even using? You are not using either. So
Yeah.
it's a great call. And I'm hoping that I'm hoping that the agric minister
Mhm.
will also listen to their core, the farmers core, the cocoa farmers, to help them construct their roads, because that has been one of their biggest challenges. The cocoa roads, it's been given to contractors time over time, and yet we see nothing happening. So
I think that's a very great cause from the Agri Minister. So to our next headline, no one will get away with corruption under the NDC government. Esiedu Nketia. The national chairman of the ruling National Democratic Congress, NDC, Johnson Esiedu Nketia, has vowed that former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta will be held accountable for alleged corruption during his term. Speaking in a viral video in circulation on X, which was formerly known as Twitter, Mr. Esiedu Nketia insisted that no official implicated in corruption will escape justice, regardless of their current whereabouts. These are his words. Wherever Ken Ofori-Atta is hiding, they will get him to answer questions on the cases of corruption against him. He will come. All of them, every crime they have committed, they will account for. These are the words of the National Democratic Congress. The chairman for National Democratic Congress, Johnson Esiedu Nketia. These are what he said. And I think
it's very good. I think he saw a headline where as the NDC Department's General Secretary said we would arrest even his dead body.
Yeah, I saw that.
Ken Ofori-Atta, even if you die, we would arrest your dead body. It's like this NDC administration, they mean business.
Yeah.
And they are not here to joke. They really mean business. So if Esiedu Nketia is saying that the former minister Ken Ofori-Atta will be held accountable, not only him but all corrupt officers. And even if and I'm very sure and I'm certain that even if an NDC MP is caught in the crime, he or she would also be arrested.
Yeah, I mean, if you listen to the conversation, he was actually emphasizing on that aspect that no official, an NDC official, will escape punishment if you are found corrupt under this administration. So it's a good call. And with Ken Ofori-Atta's issue, people are thinking it's just a witch hunt or some vendetta being, executed by the NDC. But I don't see it as so. A former president was subjected to a corruptive investigation. Mahama, His Excellency. Right when Akufo-Addo came to power in 2016-2017, he ushered investigations into Mahama regarding the Airbus scandal. So if he was subjected to that, and I mean people didn't really call it a vendetta or whatever, why should the Ofori-Atta's own be anything different? It's not a witch hunt. We've seen things. In fact, his own colleagues in Parliament, they were calling for his resignation.
Wow.
But the president was just deaf ears to it, and Apia Kubi, who led the charge, was subjected to so many things under the NPP. Yeah, he was poisoned. He was later so many things. He, in his own words, yes. So, I mean, they show subjecting to.
What he's saying, when Ken Ofori-Atta was in power, we all could testify. So now on shutdown so. And I'm a boy. No, so
as in wait.
Yes, in wait. But when he was declared a fugitive, a video of him popped up outside Ghana. Sisi akwano ayo bolo.
Ghana na mo stress.
Yale ben no. Yale ben na mani pa yekesi.
You think it's the sickness that has made
you now, even if it's the sickness, I don't know the kind of sickness, but blood in there should be in the tummy or in the leg.
I mean,
ni baby ahono.
Yeah, really, I'm nipa. That's one thing. So, I don't think it would be fair on our part to downplay his claim as him being sick. So wherever he is, we wish him a speedy recovery. That notwithstanding, I mean, we need him to account for a few things that we are
alive or not alive.
You see, is he a PRO for the Special Prosecutions Office in Optakon or something? Yeah, I think that's his name. He spoke on a media platform during the weekend, and he was like, it seems we are not understanding the whole thing. The investigations has gone on for long. He was only declared wanted or a fugitive after they had evidence of him being corporate officer. If that hadn't been so, they would have just let you because the investigations has been going on. So Ghanaians should understand that the entire nation or one same be a dear be a nation in some a raya or no one farm mobia, but I dare not shy.
Until when he
on the match maybe I know the Siam or mine
and if the NDC government make sure he's been arrested, arraigned for courts, and a final verdict is given on this issue, trust me, Ghanaians would forever, should I say, adore NDC government, because there is no should I say, how is the political party which has come into power to go as far as saying, say, we want to arrest corrupt officials. If a be an that, then you let me know.
But I mean, well, Abu Gapele was arrested. Yeah, he was Mohammed's friend, his bosom friend. So it has happened. It has happened under NDC before. Just that under the previous administration, all that were subject to arrests.
Nothing else.
So I mean, that's the call of the Ghanaian people to see something or an action taken against corrupt officials, because you can't just D and Sika and go scot-free like that. And I don't think arresting them alone is enough. We need them to. We need to recover the monies they've taken, or whatever it is in their possession. We need those monies.
What if they are not able to recover the money?
We will sell your we will sell it.
It has happened in so many instances in other countries and wherever. Oh, boy, my neck. Nasika went to me and found my what done, and your mind never found. Oh, see your companies. Yes, that's how it happens.
I think over the weekend, Liberian president, I stand to be corrected, sacked over how many officials for declaration of false assets. That's Ghana here. I always say we should look up to the developed and also developing countries outside. Is it China or North Korea? When you are being caught, that then there, you die. But here, you're not come to waste time.
The conversation around prosecuting public officials is something that we really need to, because
it should serve as an example to even the common floor members of people in the country.
Why would someone still yam, a tuber of yam,
and be
jailed, beaten?
Yes,
you beaten close to death.
Aside being beaten, they are jailed for 5 years. Yeah, a tuber of yam, who doesn't cause out 200 cities, and then a public official, a servant of the state, will still over $1 million, and they will just walk around freely.
I think our laws need to work. We have laws, but we are not implementing or making good use of them.
Yeah,
I feel and I know that laws in Ghana here only favor the rich.
Yeah.
But when you are poor, you would know that laws really work in Ghana here. But once you are rich, you have the money, Come on.
You can maneuver your way
Yeah.
through any.
But equality before the law. If
They don't know that though.
if you are caught red
Money-
handed doing something, I
Money
think
comes first.
you should be responsible for your action and you should account for it. And
But I think it all boils down to leadership too.
yeah,
Because if we can go back into time, not so long ago, regarding the
Sisi
Adapa,
Adapa.
Yes.
the OSP was ready to take action, but the president
Mm-hmm.
cleared her off.
Yeah.
why?
No, he has that executive power. That's why
Is it that
laws.
he's also involved?
Yes, because
in
if you are
this?
not involved, you make sure that that corporate is being brought to book.
No, but I don't think you even need to be involved
Mm-hmm.
in this issue. I mean, he has the powers.
Mhm.
The woman was appointed by him,
Mm-hmm.
so I mean,
Yeah. How
it
would it
doesn't
look
really
like?
Yeah,
Yes.
under his government.
How would it look like?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
can just we
That's-
some of the areas we need to look at regarding our constitution
Yeah.
is the power it exerts to the
Mhm.
executive. It's too much.
Mm.
The president has the power to free you from innocence.
Mhm.
It shouldn't be so.
But I feel that now that John Dramani Mahama is in power, he can still bring up that case. Or what do you think?
Oh yeah, they really can.
They can bring
Oh,
it
yes.
up in
Yeah,
court
they-
again.
Then
Yeah,
they
they can.
should.
When the president, the former
Oh
president,
no,
They
he
can.
should sit somewhere.
They can. The case can be revisited if they think there were some anomalies in. It's fine.
Because Charlie,
Yeah,
that
they
money.
can.
wow.
The case didn't really get to court. It didn't. The special prosecutor was just petitioned to look into it. He was like, "Yeah, Kusika say so. She needs to tell us where she got it from." And then she said, "Ninu yebi awogu." All these things.
I heard some theater business, Nina,
So
And-
it needs to be revisited.
Yeah.
It's one
Yeah.
of the cases that the Ghanaian people are really interested in.
Yes, the
Sisi
Sisi
Adapa
Adapa case.
See,
Sanitation minister,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
sometimes we Ghanaians we don't really know the value and the width of money because most of us haven't really had that much money before.
Mm-hmm.
Nipa kakra bi, and most of them now see politicians.
Yeah.
But if we talk about $1 million, say who 1 million, who sikama 1 million, and yes, say era ohun you. Well, sikana era.
Ayra. So made for no made this kind. I'm a son, your boyfriend, so
Now,
Jai.
yeah. Now, Miss me okay if you are then I'm there.
I know why it's here. You say, me 2 cities here, me.
oh yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Oh, because me nibisa.
So you keep account of every penny.
They have this much money, not in their accounts. It was just lying barely in their homes.
Under bed.
Under beds.
Wardrobe.
And that wasn't the only money.
What about the money? in
Dollars,
their account?
CD, euros.
If these are being kept in her apartment, I can imagine the amount of money
And
she'll be having in her account.
and the money they didn't get to find out immediately.
No, that's
Over
what I'm
how
saying.
many
That's what I'm
months before
saying.
they
It's
got to
like-
find out their money is missing?
Missing. I don't grow. According to the story, as the husband walked in, and, you know,
And saw the
and that is not even the house they stay in. I mean, one of yes.
so that
Until
would be a reservoir
imagine-
for the money.
I swear.
Imagine.
A reservoir house for the money.
For the money.
Probably.
I don't think it's. Who was the car the baby na wada baby?
Sure.
Nti omu fie na nga so omu tim dia.
Now, just a normal Ghanaian citizen, even if you have 500 cedis in your account, check the number of times you always check.
Yeah.
If that money
Check.
is there,
Yeah.
even if a strange number calls you, just look at that.
So we need to. I am particularly very glad about the constitution having a reform because all these things needs to be touched. All these things, public officials, they are not superhumans to the ordinary citizen. They need to account for whatever they do. In fact, you are a servant. How is a servant lording over?
I wonder.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
I wonder.
That's Ghana.
And they even have the right to say, excuse me, to say trash to us. We that we appointed you.
So this is what Esiedun Ketia is saying, that whoever or officials that are involved in corruption will not escape justice. They will be brought to justice. They will have to account for whatever that they have done. These are his words, and I'm just hoping we wouldn't just be hearing just investigation, and then we don't get to hear the tail of the issue, but they will be brought to books.
Sure.
On to our next headlines. Mahama to heads of state ensure tax compliance to bridge Africans' financing gap. President John Dramani Mahama has charged African heads of state to ensure tax compliance as a key measure to address the continent's substantial financing gap. Mahama said, addressing the financial gap requires a multifaceted approach. Domestic resource mobilization is crucial for improving tax administration, combating illegal financial flows, and encouraging the culture of tax compliance. He also pointed out other challenges Africa faces, which includes climate crisis, geopolitical tensions, and diseases which threaten the continent's growth and sustainable development. He stressed the importance of strategic investments in key sectors like health, education, energy, and technology, acknowledging the substantial financing gap for these investments to deal with these challenges. So Mahama is saying that we should adhere to all the rules which has to do with payments of taxes, and this will go a long way to bridge Africans' financing gap.
It's true, it's good. But sometimes, even children pay taxes. We have indirect tax and direct tax. So I first said the direct tax is specifically for we the adults. Sometimes Ghana Revenue Authority need to chase down citizen of a country to pay tax. And sometimes they are also at fault because there are some people in the midst of these officers or officials who are fraudsters. They just come to you, take the money, and they move away. But if I know that there are steps or major steps you have to take to pay your tax, but I would ensure that Ghana Revenue Authority puts a stop to this, where you see officers parading in the streets, marketplaces, and all that, taking tax from Ghanaian citizens. It's also a ground for corruption, if I'm mistaken, but it's also a ground for corruption.
Before I get into whatever I have to say about the statement made by the president. Regarding what Regina just said, the thing is that, and I understand where you are coming from, because most times people feel like we're crying to all BGF, buying what I'm going to go to come all these things. These perceptions surrounding it, that's why we need a transparent, regulated system for the stakeholder to realize that whatever I am paying is truly going to the government. Agents going to the market women and all that will only say that as an outdated system or procedure. There should be ways that these things needs to be. Because truth is that if you leave this market women all that time, revenue officer will be tax.
Yes, true.
You get me? So we need to find ways of mobilizing these taxes from the people without agents chasing them on market and all that stuff.
And with what you are saying, there was an incident, a video which went viral on all social media handles, where a GRA official was being beaten by market women. because they had a card where when you pay your tax, they record it. But it's like a norm. Anytime this officer takes the money, he doesn't record it. And that day, the market woman wanted to see the card. Let me see my card. Almost about how many months taxes now with Jenny, none was recorded.
You see. So these things, and we are moving from all these paper record keeping and all, especially when it comes to finances. We should do away with papers. We should do away with papers.
I think it will be good to move.
Let's get all these things data based, electronically. Let the technology work. Vice President Baumia, the ex-vice president, boasted so much about all these things, but little was done about all these digitalization stuff. Honestly, so yes, but with what the president said also, it's a good call. Paying taxes. I mean, we've been adhering to paying taxes and all. As every state which is developed, is developed through taxes.
Through taxes.
We always talk about Ghana, how much we owe as a country.
Yeah.
Do you know how much the Chinese owe? The US, how much they owe? But it hasn't become a problem for them because they have revenues through which they are paying their debts. They are servicing their debts.
Yeah.
Unlike Africa and especially Ghana, our tax regime is flawed. The reason why people don't want to pay their taxes, they can pay. You look at the big business men, they have the money to pay.
And even the big companies we have here in Ghana,
but they are not paying.
The question is why? Why do they feel reluctant to pay?
I think probably because they don't see the evidence of
Exactly.
what the tax is doing for them.
Exactly.
So why should I pay if I'm not seeing what the tax is doing?
Debia metua sika ewo me bawo. Say ebia yan fancy school. Na mpabo asem nti o say metua sika ma. But then bia obe fi school ba so na mpabo ya basa. But debia mo gi me fee for mpabo anu.
Yeah.
So that has become the problem, and that stems from the government. We are not seeing anything being done with our taxes. In fact, they should actually regulate it. One actualizes our near ebia sa tax ya yeji ye DC school die. It's every month we are making this much out of these taxes that we are getting. So in every month we are also expecting maybe Sesikanibe to me erect 2 buildings, school buildings. Yes, we are expecting to in Ghana.
Evidence
of what say na sana we are getting this from look at the tax they told us they are going to get from
levy.
Say accounts here, but if we should ask them what exactly we've done,
they came out to say that the benefits they will be getting from IMF will be used to establish over thousands of jobs, but nothing.
So have you seen thousands of jobs?
For the way.
I think that all being said and done, we as citizens need to set up. We need to hold these people accountable.
Yeah.
Ghana yepe so we mo dey sound China too much. Eno ka ho na abo man. So omo ye and ye question won ye bisa won this into we ye then say just like the woman did at the market with the general agents.
Yeah.
So bisa the people who no kra just scam or gini na e ko ni koto. That is bad.
And the taxpayers' money are rather used to finance the lifestyle of most ministers.
You see. So we need to hold them accountable. For taxes, we need to yesterday we went to this restaurant whatever we bought amounted to 345 cedis. The taxes alone took it to 425 cedis.
Can you imagine that?
Covered tax, NHIL,
VAT,
15% VAT. The VAT on the food was about 50 something. I was like, as a VAT, you but to me, the Davy beans for a full 1 week. Let me register on Davy Monday to Friday. Or best sorted.
Yeah.
But that's the VAT I'm paying on the food that I bought. So ask yourself,
this is all going to the government.
what are they doing with it?
I think
road tolls are almost on the road tolls in
yeah.
But look at our roads, the state of our roads in Ghana. These things are supposed to, I mean, work on our roads.
Yeah. The roadworthy and all
In
of
the funny and I have granted yes. A boy baby a road toll is in the crowd.
And yet,
motorway.
Hey, the motorway is that's
so
a silent killer.
So all these things, but here we and here so. As citizens, we need to set up. We need to hold them accountable. We need to. That's the only way.
Someone made a statement that Ghana, we are not angry enough.
oh yeah.
Oh yes, we are not.
Even look at the demonstration we go to.
How can you go to
Yeah,
demonstration?
Yeah, Papa. Even look at how we even dressed to that side. Look at that. So like, I'm not saying we should go for violence, but we should question the authorities and then the officials. They should be accountable. Where are our taxes going? Why are we paying them? And I believe that if we are seeing evidence for what our tax is doing, I'll pay.
I'll pay. I mean, why won't I pay?
I will pay.
Exactly.
I'll pay.
But
So
you see, this thing you are saying, where do you think it stems from? As Ghana, what was the statement?
we are not
We are not
angry.
angry.
You're not
enough.
angry enough.
I think it stems from our elitism,
Enthusiasm.
which also comes from our education.
Okay.
The people, in fact, the people who have the mandate to hold these people accountable, the educated ones who understand most of these things we are discussing today. See, the market woman, my apologies. I'm not saying, but they don't have the time to study these things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's ignorant of this.
Okay.
The mate doesn't know. The driver, open them, Charlie, or bonnet trotro until obey time, as Suyasa and near me. Oh, that time. But we have so many people also who understand these things as citizens. For them to fight, make what they know work in the country because of elitism. Oh, yeah. I mean, Obunuhu too much of the protest. You get me? Into education now when you cry on also the education here. Because whatever the education needs to serve us, no, and serve we.
Okay.
I'm telling you, all these things we are talking about, if the elite class had set up long ago to tackle these things, one will be to the government tackle boot for boot. How many times no one said policeman arrested like someone or be hospital on the roadside? How many times no?
Church phone call.
Exactly. On to me go boot for boot. And I remember police in the crowd, and family, but church from anonym.
Yeah.
But the police know say acquire our body seats. Yeah, rough. Maybe you know
I know my rights.
Yeah.
You understand me? So the elite, the one I will know, Mark Harvard, I say more better than Ghana, and all you do is to brag about it. I studied here, I did this, I did that, and when they see people fighting for their rights, they'll be like,
They make it look like it's actually a waste of time if you want to fight for yourself.
And that is how they actually see it. In fact, some of them, they take more than 100,000 cedis a month. Some take like 60,000. Some MDs, MDs be sick or Mudi or Ghana. You'll be marveled. I know be a scan a corrupt skull. And you manage to your Mukai. Yes, companies pay their people well. And you know, I feel comfortable. There's no way I'll pack off fight your mom and but they are the ones who can go boot for boot with the government. So that thing say Ghanaians are not angry enough. It stems out of elitism. You too much. That's what you are saying. Obu oko protest cry. Dress na was saying dress.
Hey, hot. Nancy protesti kwa policeman no move video na oje nipa ba ko number. See wey.
Copy content or no con wa funny.
Tripod tin.
Yeah, we here and protest and when any happen. Let's a parliament we are.
I'll just laugh. It's even a comedy to them.
Yeah, meta.
So you think that's the reason why people do not come out for demonstration due to these behaviors?
Oh yes. Well, they respect themselves too much. Why should I subject myself to we have so many ways we can protest as people. Government institutions can wake up to say galamse adewe. Galamse ya yehu dia ye for one ekum for day. See the issue of galamse. I don't want to dive into it right now. But some of these things if teachers in Naka say yen kwa ejuma for 1 week. Or man any baba na also doctors yen kwa ejuma. Those are the ways we can protest effectively. Effectively. Because one more mind here ejuma.
And even with the midwives, as you said, there are different ways you can protest. It got to a point, midwives had to fly out of Ghana because their services here were not good enough. And government had to impose so much payment on that. And Sana say, Nama from kakra. So I agree with him.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your submission. That will be all for our newspaper review today. Up next, we have the Debbie's Corner with Miss Debbie Adolso. Thank you for joining us.
It's Monday. Welcome to Debbie's Grill. On Debbie's Grill, we do not grill meat or fish, but we delve into matters of state concerns, acting as a watchdog to hold our leaders accountable, as well as draining truth out of issues with credibility. Now, there has been an outstanding issue that poses a threat to not only the key communities but to the country as a whole. Now, this issue has intensified violence that has led to the loss of innocent souls. It has actually prevented students from accessing education, and businesses in those communities has come to a halt. It has also become a conducive environment for criminals, serial killers, terrorists, and jihadists. What am I trying to say? And what am I posing at? Now, let's move straight to the Upper East region, Boku. There have been conflict, and I mean this conflict has been in existence for some time now, and I know even this conflict has been in existence even before I was born. Now, the conflict in Boku has become so intensified that of late innocent souls are dying. Students no longer go to schools. Terrorists has made Boku a site of business. Serial killers are now in Boku. People now fear to use the stretch to Boku or the stretch of Boku because they fear for their lives. What is going on? I know militaries have been deployed to make sure that the conflict is being minimized. But wait, even though the military has been deployed, our national peace councils, I'm not hearing of them. Since this conflict started, even though it's a chieftaincy dispute between the Mamprusi and then the Kusarsis, the National Peace Council has to talk something or say something about the conflict. Now let's look at this. The National Peace Council is the primary authority responsible for conflict resolution established under the National Peace Council Act 2011, with a core mandate to prevent, manage, and resolve conflict, building sustainable peace in the country. This conflict, as I said earlier on, has become so intensified that we've received or we've heard reports where people are being slayed. Now, 2023 reports show that some terrorists or jihadists that have family ties with Boku in Burkina Faso. Maybe you don't know, Burkina Faso shares boundary or board with Boku shares boundary with Burkina Faso. And so 2023 report has it that jihadists and terrorists from Burkina Faso that has family ties with members of Boku are being hired by Tribe A to help fight Tribe B. Now, even though the military has been deployed, let's think about this. Is it not getting too far? Souls are dying. Let's think about that. Properties are being destroyed because of chieftaincy disputes. Not to even talk about Nkwanta in the OT region. Same issue, similar issue. And then we sit quiet and we don't say anything. You see, we pay so much attention to politics and stuff. So yes, it's good. But then let's also pay attention to this because they are also part of the country. Yes, I know the government is doing their part. I know militaries have been deployed to the extent that even some military has a misunderstanding or clashes with citizens of Boku. But even though military has been deployed, don't we think that there is more to do? The National Peace Council, we are calling on you. There is a lot to do. That is why I felt a bit excited and sad at the same time when Osei Tutu, Otumfuo Osei Tutu the second, on Saturday has agreed to facilitate procedures that will actually bring calmness. Yes, he has taken a nice move, but then I feel like we are waiting too long. I feel like we are not actually taking the necessary steps, even though we are trying our best. But our best isn't enough. Our best isn't enough. Militaries has been deployed, yes. I said it and I'm still saying it. But there is more to do. Even if the conflict in these two places I've mentioned is politically motivated, what about we those in those communities? Let's wise up. Let's wake up from our slumber. Our ignorance is actually draining us. Our refusal to let peace reign is actually stagnating the progress of these communities. Now, in the past few weeks, let's look at the number of people that have been killed just 3 weeks ago. January 25th, a 13-year-old boy identified as Sharif was attacked by gangmen whilst herding cattle. The assailant snapped his neck and stole the cattle he was tending. Then on February 8th, 2025, gangmen in military uniforms stormed a house, killing a 7-month-old baby, a 2-year-old child and their mother in cold blood. Just this ended Valentine's Day we celebrated 14 February. A woman lost her 5-month-old daughter. And so, as I said, even if this conflict is politically motivated, can't we just sit down and think, forget about things like this petty things? Yes, I know when it has to do with issues with chieftaincy, it's a whole lot. But our refusal to let peace reign, our refusal to bring an end to the conflict is actually causing a whole lot. Maybe we have forgotten. Conflicts like this stagnate the development of the community. If I'm an investor and I want to invest in that particular place, I wouldn't do it. Because I cannot go invest into a community or bring up a company of which today people are running, tomorrow there is chaos, another day things. When it happens like that, even your business will collapse. Let's wake up. Yes, we are in the 21st century. Yes, we are in the 21st century. But our thinking and way of doing things doesn't look as if we are in the 21st century. This morning is just a caution. It's just a caution to us. Peace councils, you are sleeping. Please wake up. And to the national security personnel, the head of the national security, Omani Boama, Mr. Omani Boama, you are doing well, but there is a lot to do again. Chiefs in our communities, you have to do something about it. You shouldn't wait for things to get out of hand before we come out to say something. We shouldn't wait for the whole community to be destroyed because of chieftaincy. Let's not forget that the blood of these innocent souls. We are going to account for this one day. And so let's just be careful. Let's do away with ignorance. And let's wake up. It is in those days that I know that things do happen like this. But to the extent that things are really getting out of hand. Just yesterday, 4 people were also killed. And as the day goes by, we hear that people are being killed each and every blessed day. Let's find a way to resolve the conflict. Thank you for making time with me. My name is Deborah Adosu.
This is GhanaTalks Radio, the best station rocking the nation.
So, welcome to today's Today in History and Did You Know segment with Regina Bliss. So, in 1967, Ghana introduced the new cedi currency, which replaced the 1965 cedi. This change was a significant event in Ghana's economic history. It's also interesting to note that the new cedi notes were in circulation for about 6 years until they were replaced by the cedi in March 1973. Today in history, 1801, Thomas Jefferson was indeed elected the third president of the United States, but it's interesting to note that he wasn't elected on February 17th. According to historical records, Jefferson was elected president on December 3rd, 1800, but the election was contentious and wasn't resolved until February 17th, 1801. Today in history, 1865, Columbia, South Carolina was burned by Confederate forces, but it's worth noting that there's some debate about who actually started the fires. While Confederate General Ward Hampton's forces were retreating from the city, they did set fire to cotton bales and other materials to prevent them from falling into Union hands. And did you know that the Great Wall of China is not visible from space, despite its reputation as being the longest man-made structure in the world? Did you also know that there's a species of jellyfish that is immortal? The Teratopis dohim, also known as the immortal jellyfish, can transform its body into a younger state through a process called transdifferentiation. Did you also know that the human nose can detect over 1 trillion different scents? And lastly, did you know that the human eye can process 36,000 bits of information every hour? This is where I end today's Today in History. Up next is our news for today.
Hello, good morning, and welcome to the Daybreak News on Ghana Talks Radio. Coming up this morning, no one would get away with corruption under NDC government, as Sedun Ketia. GhanaTalks sets up committee to probe ECG procurement under Akufo-Addo. Akando vows to act against rude and unprofessional nurses. And in other stories in the Northeast region, curfew imposed on Wale following deadly highway attacks. This business, sports and showbiz is coming in this morning's bulletin. The news will be read by Awen Temi Akansukum. Now let's settle for the details. The national chairman of the ruling National Democratic Congress NDC, Johnson Asedun Ketia, has reaffirmed the government's commitment to holding officials of the previous administration accountable for alleged corruption. His remarks emphasized the NDC government's unwavering stance on accountability, a key campaign promise in the lead-up to the 2024 elections. In a video circulating on social media and cited by City Newsroom Sunday, Mr. Asedun Ketia declared that former officials of the Akufo-Addo administration, including ex-Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta, will not evade scrutiny. Whenever Ken Ofori-Atta is hiding, or wherever he is hiding, we will find him. By all means, he must avail himself of questioning on multiple cases. All former officials implicated in corruption will be compelled to face the law, he asserted. He further emphasized that the government would enforce strict accountability measures even within its own ranks, ensuring that no official, past or present, escapes justice if found guilty of corruption. Critics watch closely to see how these promises of accountability and anti-corruption enforcement unfolds under the NDC government, as already 2,417 complaints of suspected corruption have been submitted to the Attorney General for investigation. The complaints, which were gathered from the public in response to the Operation Recover All Loots oral call for the public to report suspected corruption cases, were officially handed over to the President at the Jubilee House. Now, Minister for Energy and Green Transition John Abdullahi Jinapor has established a committee to investigate procurement activities carried out by the Electricity Company of Ghana (ECG) during the Akufo-Addo administration. According to Jinapor, ECG engaged in frivolous procurement, leading to significant financial losses. He revealed that approximately 3,000 ECG containers are currently stranded at the port, accumulating demurrage costs estimated at 1.5 billion cedis. To address these concerns, he confirmed that a committee has been set up to investigate ECG's procurement activities and the financial burden caused by the stranded containers. Jinapor further disclosed that based on the preliminary findings, former ECG managers failed to adhere to proper procurement processes and guidelines. In response to these findings, the minister announced plans for a broader audit of the energy sector, according to a human resource and technical review. With these initiatives, the ministry aims to uncover inefficiencies and implement strategic policies to enhance the energy sector performance. Now to some health. Health Minister Kobina Minta Akando has issued a stern warning to nurses and healthcare workers against unprofessional and rude behavior towards patients. Speaking at a cholera sensitization program at the Winneba Government Hospital Friday, February 14th, the health minister voiced concerns that such behavior discourages many individuals, especially the elderly, from seeking medical care, even in critical conditions. While acknowledging the dedication and compassion of most healthcare professionals, he lamented that a few bad nuts tarnish the image of the profession by creating an environment of fear and mistrust. Mr. Akando stressed the importance of professionalism, urging healthcare workers to remain patient and respectful even in challenging situations. The minister also noted that some health facilities across the country have experienced a significant decline in attendance due to the way patients are treated. The minister indicated plans to enforce stricter disciplinary measures for those guilty of misconduct, while also committing to improving working conditions to address the challenges faced by nurses. Now, the Ministry of Interior has imposed a dawn-to-dusk curfew on Wale Wale in the northeast region and its surrounding areas in response to recent violent attacks and killings along Bogatanga-Tamale Highway. The directives, signed by the Minister Mohammed Muntaka Mubarak, took effect Saturday, February 15, 2025, and would be enforced daily from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. This decision follows a series of deadly assaults that have resulted in the death of at least 9 people, including a child, within the past week. Additionally, 4 vehicles have been set ablaze by unknown assailants, escalating fears among residents and travelers along the highway. In a statement, the minister emphasized the need for calm and urged community leaders, including chiefs, elders, and opinion leaders, to help maintain order. He called on the youth and the general public to refrain from acts of violence and instead work towards restoring peace in the affected areas. Furthermore, the government has announced a total ban on carrying arms, ammunition, or any offensive weapon within Wale Wale and its environs. Law enforcement agencies have been directed to arrest and prosecute anyone found in possession of such items. Security forces have been deployed to the area to enforce the curfew and ensure the safety of residents and commuters. Authorities have reassured the public that measures are being taken to track down the perpetrators behind the attacks and bring them to justice. Residents and travelers are advised to comply with the curfew regulations and cooperate with security agencies to restore to normalcy in the region. Now to business. Importers seeking to send goods to Nigeria are increasingly turning to other West African nations to evade excessive port charges. In less than a month, multiple government agencies, terminal operators, and shipping companies at Nigerian ports have raised their fees by nearly 100%, making cargo clearance unfavorable for many businesses. The Lagos port in particular has seen a sharp decline in activity, undermining Nigeria's ease of doing business agenda. The Guardian Nigeria report that clearing costs across Nigerian ports have surged, with the price of processing a 40-foot container raising from between 18 to 20 million naira to 26 million naira, while a 20-foot container has nearly doubled from 10.5 million to 20 million naira. As a result, Nigerian ports are rapidly losing their competitive edge, forcing importers to shift to Ghana, Togo, and Benin Republic, jeopardizing Nigeria's historic role as the primary hub for West African bound cargo. According to Nigerian Ports Authority (NPA) Managing Director Dr. Abubakar Dantoho, the country's ports now hold fewer than 2 million 20-foot equivalent units, despite being the intended destination for 70% of the region's trade. Straight to some sports this morning. The Ghana Weightlifting Federation (GWF) has officially announced that its elective congress will take place on March 8, 2025 at the media center of the Accra Sports Stadium. This congress will serve as a crucial platform for members to deliberate on key issues and elect new executives who will shape the future of weightlifting in Ghana. According to the statement issued by the GWF, nomination for various executive positions would be conducted in accordance with Article 13 of the Federation's Constitution. The Secretary General of the GWF, Ben Adi, who signed the notice, has urged all members to actively participate, emphasizing that their involvement is crucial to the continued growth and development of weightlifting in Ghana. Guidelines for the election process will be communicated to members ahead of the event. Now, on the showbiz, Agent Doe, who alleged seeing Diddy Combs and JC sexually assaulted her 25 years ago, has withdrawn her lawsuit against them. In a notice of voluntary dismissal filed Friday, attorneys for the woman dropped the lawsuit with prejudice, preventing it from being refiled in the future. A lawyer for JC, whose legal name is Sean Carter, hailed the development. Those lawsuits was initially filed against Combs in October 2024, in which she alleged she was dragged and raped by him along with another celebrity at an after party for the MTV Video Music Awards in 2000 when she was 13 years old. In an amended complaint filed in December 2024, Carter was added as a defendant and accused of rape. Carter vigorously denied the allegation, calling them so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Carter's attorney had made numerous efforts to get the case thrown out prior to Doe dropping her lawsuit. And that's it with the Daybreak News on Ghana Talks Radio. Log on to www.GhanaTalksRadio.com for more of these stories. The news was read by Awentemi Akansukum. I say thanks so much for making time. Good morning.
Are you ready to to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond. Partner with Ghana Talks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With Ghana Talks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. Ghana Talks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
Good morning. Welcome to another breakfast show on the Ghana Talks Radio. This is where you talk as a Ghanaian and where Ghana listens. In the studios with me is my very able AC Dionwa and the Honorable Bexon. Mr. Ochi.
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing, sir?
Like the Muslim we say, Alhamdulillah. God has been good
great
to us. Yes.
We thank God. But how was your weekend?
Well, the weekend a bit stressful, but it was worth it. You know, I have to be in the central region for one or two things. Moved a bit to the eastern and then back to Accra.
Wow.
Yes.
It was a very occupying weekend for you then.
Sure.
Yeah, but I hope you know everything went well.
Sure, by His grace.
We
By His
thank
grace,
God.
by
We
His
thank
grace.
God. Ezi?
Yeah.
It's over and Tanivia. Bexon York where you Central could be in yeah, so you can join the conversation on Ghana Talks Radio on all our social media platforms. Ghana Talks Radio on Facebook, on X, on Instagram, and on TikTok at Ghana Talks Radio. Today we'll be coming your way with some interesting discussions. Joining us later on is the Fifi Kroya legend, though, because we will give him much. He's young, but he's been in the game for long. Yeah. Fifi Edinkra will be joining us. Fifi Edinkra Kujo. He will be joining the conversations this morning as well. But before we get into the conversations, Beck, yesterday there was a news outlet. The cocoa farmers are getting a raise in their revenue. What do you make of that?
Let me take this opportunity to greet yourself,
my
co-panelist, and then your numerous viewers and listeners out there.
Sure.
I think His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, prior to his campaign, made a lot of promises to the Ghanaian, especially those in the farming sector.
Yeah.
And I believe that as part of fulfilling the very things that were said on the campaign platform, is what is being materialized today. Okay. You know, the Ghanaian farmer have to go through a lot to give us the very things that we always say that is the backbone of the economy, which we can't downplay the role that cocoas play.
Not at all.
So if one way or the other today they are getting a boost in the work done, I think it is a morale, and then it is helping that the cocoa sector become an attractive venture, so that the youth can venture, because not everyone can finish school and then put on the tie and the suit and then sit in the offices, so that it will become a lucrative venture for most of the youth to venture into. So for me, it's a good news. It's a good news, so that the morale of these farmers will be extremely high to put in their maximum best.
Well, but do you think as a country we've done enough to make agriculture or farming attractive to especially the youth coming up? Because most of us coming out of school, the most career path we have is sitting in the offices and all this stuff. But as you mentioned, agriculture is one of the biggest stakeholders in our economy. Whoever ventures into agriculture, I mean, you have a stake in the economy. Growing up, we haven't really seen much more people venturing into agriculture or the agri sector per se, farming and all. Do you think as a country we've done enough to make it attractive, and if not, what are some of the things that as a country we need to do to make the agri sector, which is the backbone of our economy, very attractive to most people in the country?
Great, thank you. I believe successive governments have played their role in trying to put agriculture out there. But growing up, most of the time, agriculture, also to put it, farming was seen as a means to punish you. Even when you are in school and then you get something wrong, quickly go and take the cutlass. As if farming was a means of punishment. But now the dispensation and then the era that farming has gotten through or possibly have gone through is now becoming lucrative for the youth. Look at John Dumelo. A very young, energetic man. People know him to be in the acting space, and now a farmer. And so, even if not renowned, he's climbing up there, even to catch the eye of His Excellency the President, to be given the position of a deputy agric minister. It should tell you that gradually, we are getting there, even though we are not there yet. But all that we need to put in place to make things happen, we are. And as part of the question you asked, I think most of the things that we need to do to help make things reality in the farming is the things that our farmers will need, the farm inputs, and then the very thing that they need to be able to go into the farming strongly and wholeheartedly. Because in this modern age and time, we are still farming using the cutlasses and the hoes. Whilst in the foreign arena, they are going into farming in a large commercial quantity, so to put it, with sophisticated equipment and machines, and they are delivering. So we need to change the narrative when it comes to farming, so that we stop depending on the cutlasses and the hoes to be able to give our maximum best.
Such an interesting point you just made. Well, joining us in the studio is the insightful, as we've all been waiting for him, Mr. Fifi Edinkra Kujo. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, man.
Yeah, show it, Musa.
Charlie.
Traffic now, how
you know, Accra traffic.
Accra traffic. But I hope you had a great weekend.
It's been a good weekend.
Valentine and so cool.
Oh, you made it.
It's now the call vacation or Zanzibar. Bex and also call Central Region. For first half for no second half for Easton.
For God and country.
But you are welcome to the studios of GhanaTalks Radio. We are very glad and honored to have you here with us today to hold some conversations that our audiences will enjoy a lot. Now on WhatsApp too, you can join us through the conversation on 0202544614. Give us your views and your comments as the discussion gets on way. Now, under this particular government, one of the things that has really captured the hearts and minds of people has been the accommodation of the youth. We've seen so many people getting some appointments and positions under this very particular administration, the NDC government. It bears to mind that this current insurgence of youth getting involved in politics, what do you think is the attraction or the motivation behind it?
Well, thank you,
yeah.
And a very good morning to your listeners. It's my very first time here, and I'm enjoying it. So far.
We're actually glad to have you here. We know how much insightful you are.
So, I just want to share my thoughts on the procedures. True.
Go ahead.
I think it's more like a revolution that's going on.
A revolution?
Yeah, and not just in Ghana, but all parts of the world.
Okay.
And even in Burkina Faso, we have a 33-year-old president.
Yeah.
And I think UK, US, they are involving the youth. You know, Elon Musk is now more like part of the US presidency, helping them in decision making. And people are beginning to realize that the youth are the future, and the youth have some form of in-depth knowledge about certain things that our old folks don't have. And also, it's like a trend that's moving. We are in the digital space whereby things that are coming up, the old, let me use the word OGs, they don't understand it. They don't have even the slightest idea how I can type something into ChatGPT and ChatGPT is able to give me a very vivid answer. They don't even understand how such robotics are able to happen, machine learning and all that. So they are beginning to embrace it, and they have accepted the fact that this is the new trend. They can't do anything about it. And now we have people between the ages of 40, 50 in parliament. And trust me, it will go down. The 20s will, maybe the next government, you will see more of the 20, 30s. And yeah, there will be a very positive balance, and it will really help us a lot.
It will help us a lot, as Fifi says. Beck.
Great. I think the youths, one way or the other, they're also helping to change the status quo. Gone were the days that we always think and assume that wisdom is always with those with the grey head or the grown-ups.
What have changed now?
But you see, His Excellency, at times of blessed memory, in our Ghana politics was able to show the way when he gave room for the life of young guys to come into the political arena. And that was when we started realizing that no, the youth too is capable. So if one way or the other they are given the nod or the chance to come into the affairs of governance, they are able to change the narrative. They are able to contribute to their quota. So wisdom is not always in the old. When the Gen Zs and then the young ones too are given the chance, they can also contribute and contribute positively to governance. That's why I'm not surprised that John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, is giving chance to the youth to contribute to his government.
But past folks, as Fifi call them, the OGs, the grey hairs you mentioned, we've had problems with them in a certain way because we've come to feel like they always come into power to enrich themselves rather than to really serve the purpose of which we elected them for. Could this be one of the things that is attracting the youth into governance? I mean, because they've seen that it's become a pathway to make it in life. We know Africa, and especially in Ghana, how the unemployment rate has become. We'll be a UA school for so many years, so no communication skills, no affiliation to this party na me to my baby na me de nyakakra. Don't you think that is the motive behind it?
You would want me to touch on? I don't think so.
Really?
I don't think so. And the youth of today would like to make impact. The youth of today would like to brag that, yo, I'm the one who did this, or I'm the one who did that. They are not concerned with, yo, I have this X amount of money in my account. And also they want something that would be, it's more like building a legacy.
That is it.
You know, when you are young, and should I add wise, you would want to build a legacy, something that the next generation would want to talk about.
Yeah.
But in your old age, you can't do much. Yeah, in the old age, you can't do much. So the talks of the youth are there to make money, and the youth would want the kid out there to know that, yo, I'm the one who did this. I'm the one who did that. I'm the one who brought ICT to this community. I'm the one who built this number of boreholes. Yeah, they just want to make an impact and to have their names in the history books.
So to you, the bragging rights.
The bragging rights. They want to do something. Yeah, because they feel the old people didn't do enough. You know, Ghana money day here, bro.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of money, and if you ask the cost of one borehole, and comparing it to the amount of money generated, water problems shouldn't even exist. Because Charlie, some 20k, 30k can build a borehole. Yeah, and
but we still have
you know, schools and all that. Charlie, they can do it.
Yeah.
So the youth of today would want to do those things for the next generation to say that, yo, it was donated by Mr. Suso and so. Yeah, that's all.
But what is going to be the difference in the decision making of the youth actually making impact from the OGs that we see? Because I don't think they also, before going into politics, had the mindset of quiet and yes, I mean they all had this thing. And so you're quiet, you know, some of the challenges that we are going to address it, but we barely see them touch on these things when they get into position. What is going to be the difference with our youth going into the politics?
You know, let me use Dumelo as an example. When he started his whole campaign activities, things he was doing for the Legon students, some people thought he was doing it just for votes. He won the election and he's still doing those things. Certain things don't cost much. He's doing a free photo shoot for graduating students, busing them on vacations. You know, these things, they don't cost much to do. And if the youth is willing to do it, he would do it. That's the problem with the OGs. Like, they don't want to do it, or they are like, yo, if I do this, what impact do I get?
Yeah.
And some of them, most of them are out of power though. They felt like, yo, this seat belongs to me. If I do X or not, they'll still vote for me. But the youth of today, with the experience from the past election, have taught them that, yo, it doesn't work like that anymore. So this time around, people would work. And I wouldn't do politics, but I have a strong feeling that, yo, systems and certain things will change.
You have that belief.
Yeah.
If you have the belief that systems and other industries are going to change because of the youth insurgents in politics, what does you feel, Bexon, think as well?
You think there is a revolution ongoing in the political space, and then the youth can't be left behind. Because, like my colleague rightly said, the OGs, one way or the other, have been a bit static in the way they do politics. And the youth, they are full of energy and vigor. They're able to come in to change things within a space of time. So once the energy and the passion is there, and they are given the chance, they're able to change things. So we can't downplay the significant role that these youths play in our body politicking. So one way or the other, they are full of energy, they are full of fire, and it's nothing much. They just want to make names for themselves.
So
they want to leave a legacy.
You also go with Fifi
Sure.
in the sense that it's not about enriching themselves.
Sure, because if it has to do with just getting enriched alone, like it will continue to be the OGs. That for most of them, they started eating the days of Kwame Nkrumah, and government goes, government comes. They are still able to maneuver their way through.
Yeah.
But these youths just want to come, even if just for a term or whatever, just change the narrative, make a name, then go back to go and rest, and their name will continue to be in the history books. You know, youth, because of the youthful exuberance, Charlie, I won't do them. I won't make name for myself. Asa, nothing much.
See,
Okay.
and okay,
Sorry to continue. So, how do you think the government can empower more youth to get themselves into politics?
I think there's a laudable question being asked from my sister. I believe one or the other, deliberately in a political space, let me be thankful to both the NDC and the MPP. They have a means that they are grooming this youth way back, even in the schools, the TESCONs and the things, giving them the room and coaching them, guiding them in the political space. So by the time they leave campus, already they started the journey, and they're able to be absorbed into the mainstream. Then on we go. So I believe deliberately they have been helpful in that regard, coaching, guiding, training them in a way, so that when they step out of school, already they have the path that they've learned. Then the outside space becomes the bigger platform to come and learn and then get it right this time around.
Okay.
Yes.
With this, the TN and the what was the other one?
TESCON and thing.
TESCON and we see them groom these students as we see, but then also, do they group them as servants of the state or as servants of the party? Because we've seen so many instances where even the act of politics these groups do on campus, it bears to question. Enti oman we also na eba bebu yeso oman
the future leaders.
You see, so all these things has become a part of the angles where people are looking to question the youth coming into the politics, the political scene as well.
Sure, but you see, like I said, once you are always aligned in this manner, your doctrine, teaching, and how you are being helped to be groomed from that, it will be a bit difficult to just have a switch along the line. So once you are a teen, you've been taught through the rudiment of how the NDC operates, their revolution, how things came about. Once you come out there, your line of thinking, everything falls in that direction.
Okay.
Likewise that of the TESCOM.
Okay.
So you don't fault them where they are coming from and the kind of background that they had in the grooming process. Okay. Surely there will be a bit of where you are coming from.
But then, Fifi, wouldn't this also be a service of loyalty than a service of purpose to the state? Because they are going to, as you Bexon said, by how they were raised, trained or guided, their loyalty is going to fall for these.
Exactly.
It's the parties that get them to power. Okay. Very obvious. Our politics here is different from that of the US, whereby it's based on policies. Like this person wants this done. It's just like the LGBT conversation in the US. One party says, yo, I'll stop it. Another says, I'll continue. So people who voted based on these policies. It's very different here.
Okay.
Here is the party that's going to get you in power, not your policies.
No.
So we have people in certain political parties, deep down they don't believe in what their party stands for. But they are in there.
That is
because it is a party that gives
I think it's a problem. yeah. And it does some sort of disservice to the state because people can't implement what they truly believe in. But instead they would have to service their parties.
Exactly.
So I think the best solution would be some kind of conversation within these parties, so that it would be like everybody would make it a clear cut that we believe in this, we would want to things done in this way. Another parties to be like, we want things done in this way. So you, the youth, you choose where you want to belong to based on these policies. Yeah, then it will be very fine for all.
But then, if that is not already in place, then what has been the attraction of the youth to join a particular force and not the other one?
I think some are family ties.
Family ties.
Yeah, we all know it. People are like, yo, my father is NDC, so I have to be NDC. Even if I don't believe in what the NDC does, I have to be there. Some are family ties, some are more like cliques. Yo, all my friends are here, I would have to be there. And it doesn't help that much.
It doesn't. But the December 7th elections, 2024, brought about some different aspects of elections that we've always seen normally happen in Ghana. For instance, some of the votes or the numbers that some other political parties gained in some specific places, which we know are not their strongholds. This time around, they made it there. Do you think this ties, as Fifi was saying, maybe this tribe or this clan, whatever, we are more into this party, so let's. Do you think we are breaking that bridge gradually, or it was just something that orchestrated?
Exactly, we are growing in our politicking. We are growing, so it is not always the static way. Because the fact that my mom and my dad are all NDC doesn't automatically to make me an NDC person, so to put it. Maybe the kind of things I've been following, reading over time has shaped my thoughts on decision making at a point in time. Remember that we have many Ghanaians that every 4 years they change their style of voting. They are not constant that it is NDC and NDC through. That is why we were seeing some of the things that we were just mentioning. Like on a normal day, why will it be able to happen in Ashanti where NDC can sweep some seats and then increase their seats in everything? It should tell you that the ordinary Ghanaian is now looking at the political arena with a different mindset. It is not business as usual. Things are changing. The narrative is changing. So as a politician or as political players, you must also change your manner and style of doing things to be able to meet the changing trend, because the Ghanaian is not static. Yes.
What do you think has inspired this revolution? Let me use
that's the word.
Voice. What do you think has been the inspiration behind this sudden revolution?
People would want results. People are result oriented now. They are voting for who can work for them. Remember, these parliamentarians are member of parliament. They are representing the community, the constituencies. So people are now choosing who can work for them best. Not this person is that, or this person is that. And there's a lot to learn from the past elections. A whole lot. From even those who chose not to vote, because they feel like, yo, people go, they don't do anything, so I won't vote at all. And also, the numbers game has also changed. These days, I don't think any political party will be like, yo, this is my stronghold again.
My World Bank.
I lie. It will give you a very big shock. And going forward, I think the next one, as interesting as this year last election was, the next one will be more interesting.
Why do you think so?
I'm not so much into politics, but I've been doing some analysis here. If you take a better look at not the past one, the one before that, there was some sort of a balance in parliament where they had equal numbers and just one person has to decide. So at that very moment, that person has the power. And definitely there will be conversations going on, everybody trying to convince that person, oh, come to my side, right? Cool. And see the gap in the last election. It's like 2-1. You get it. So the next one, how is it going to be? Is it going down more, or some part are coming up? So it's It'd be interesting. It'd be interesting. Politics be some interesting game. Yeah,
it could be interesting. Just as the discussion has been very interesting so far in the studios of Ghana Talks Radio. You are still with us, and you can join us in the conversation on all our social media platforms, on Facebook, on TikTok, on Instagram, on X, formerly known as Twitter, all at Ghana Talks Radio. You can also join through our WhatsApp line 0202-544-614. Leave your views, your comments, your suggestions, whatever, on our numbers on WhatsApp. You can also follow through with our website www.GhanaTalksRadio.com, www.GhanaTalksRadio.com. Now, Beck, and I want us to really digest this question very well, because me myself, I need an understanding from it. Politics as a whole. Do we think that in Ghana, because we are Ghanaians, I'm mainstreaming it for Ghana, do you think we've limited it to just party? Because it's more like for everyone or anyone to get into politics or be a stakeholder in the political scene, you would have to be a part of a particular political party. Doesn't that limit the base of our politics?
Wow.
Because before you answer this, the reason why I'm asking this is from what both you and Fifi said, that how people are guided from the schools, the political parties that guide them, is why they grow up to become loyal to this party, which has become a disservice to the state, because they are more loyal to the party than the state. Yes. So I want to to be a politician, but I need this party to groom me. At the end of the day, the base of politics, which is to serve the entire nation, to me, that's how I see politics to be. It should be broad, not just about this my party assembly. So just based on this, our political scene, hasn't it been limited?
To some extent, yes. But let's look at it this way. A secondary school teacher of mine once said something that Ghana, you either smell the elephant or the umbrella. And that is what has happened over time. And look at the last election. A neutral person who is not politically affiliated, Chada, was able to become the third, after the outcome of the third force. It should tell you that now people are reasoning beyond the elephant and the umbrella. So objectively, it will get to a time that even though by virtue of our constitution and the way manner we do things, Ghana has been more like a two-sided NDC MPP thing. But trust me, we are moving into an arena whereby we have more discerning and very objective people that will neither sit with the elephant or the umbrella, and they will make objective criticism and then analysis going forward, and they will also be winning the hearts of the youth coming. And then they say that no, this is the direction we want to go. Enough of the NDC MPP, enough of the umbrella elephant kind of thing. So we will get there. But for now, this is how the geopolitics in Ghana has been, and it has been the trend that we are following. But trust me, the narrative is changing, and it will change. Even that is why sometimes when power comes, they'll be like, that's why I see a campaign platform. So I don't know who needs to make position, but maybe the kind of in-depth knowledge he has got nothing to do with both NDC and PP. He is good at the things he does. So you don't have any option than to fall him or her on board, to bring his expertise, to give us the result that we all need. So we'll get there. We'll get there with time. We'll get there.
Fifi.
I think in Parliament, the number of independent candidates is increasing.
Sure.
And it will keep increasing because communities, people, the voters are now voting based on who can work for them.
That is it.
Yeah. But what I want us to analyze is, so with the presidential seat, are we going to have an independent president someday?
Well, that is a big question. Are we ever going
to have, but it will take time. Even if it's possible, I don't think the next election, but it will take time.
But do you really think it's going to be possible?
Everything is possible.
Now the surprises you are seeing in our politics, anything is possible.
If it was about popularity, we would say Alan Chamantin and all the other guys were more popular than Cheddar. Right? But Cheddar gave them a shot.
Like Ken would say, he gave them showdown.
So everything is possible, and I look forward to more youth in politics. More youth in Parliament, and there is this guy that I love so much. I think his name is Kwame Frimpong. He owns Salty FM somewhere in Koko. That's the idea. That guy was just working. He did a lot for the youths. Applied to be in Parliament, and they voted for him. That's how it's supposed to be. So if you want to be the next president, show your face, do things. Don't wait for election time. Do things, and let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens. Besson, you said something that we need people, neutral people. Do you think our political space gives much accommodation to such people? People who are not affiliated to any party, but can have an impact politically in our decision making as a nation. Do you think our political space gives much room for these people?
I think gradually, bit by bit, we are making a conscious effort to make it come to stay. But look, you get your own party people coming to fight the system for you, for even not taking their very own at strategic places. Are you getting it? We are campaign, I feel to me by from nowhere. Also, because so when that happens, even the people that have the know-how that can contribute, that they don't belong to any, they find it difficult to even get on board to get a job done.
So at the end of the day, we are going to see most of these people. Okay, it seems because I'm not part of this party,
that is it.
I can't get a platform to do what I can do. Then let me align myself to this party. Then whatever he might have had in mind is going to sway to loyalty to the party.
That is it.
Yeah, but if we are going to be honest, the big man on top believes that it's votes which got him there. It's votes, it's people's votes. It's the NDC's votes which got him in power. Okay, so if it's the NDC's votes which got him in power, if he's going to appoint, who do you think he's going to appoint? He's going to some sort of reward.
That is it.
We have to be very honest. These appointments are like rewards for people who help them to get in power. They are not appointing based on who can work. Right? So let's say he has like 100 CVs to go through. First of all, who we are looking at those who are affiliated with the party. Before, within that circle, then we look for who can work.
So, and this is always going to be a problem for us. How do we break this?
But there are certain sectors that I think shouldn't be political like appointees. Right? Something like the Minerals Commission, like our gold and stuff. Mr. Sam Jonah has done marvelously in that industry, but Sam Jonah is neither NDC or NPP. Get it? Yeah, there are people who can do, and if we are applying the Sam Jonah principle to other sectors, I think we will be so well. Let's say our rail line system is now totally collapsed. If somebody shows face that I can do it, then the appointment shouldn't be political. Right. There are certain industries, fine, we understand, let it be political, but ministers, definitely it has to be from the parties. But on the other side,
so PK, so even now the so-called neutrals, they are even aligning behind the scene.
Exactly.
Look at Prof. Jampo.
Exactly.
the time his appointment came, people were all over the space out there.
Sure.
Hey, so Jampo, not knowing upon all these things, you are this, you are with the NDC here and there. But in the nutshell, the reality is, can he do the work? And if he can, he's worth it to go there to deliver. He's going to serve a nation. He's not going to serve a political party. So it's making a so-called neutral to even align. Mm-hmm. If you don't align and then the power comes, you will not be recognized. You will not be called to come and serve, irrespective of the expertise you have at your disposal. Yeah. Okay. So it is another discussion for another time. To go deep into it.
Sure. But moving on from this youth in politics insurgents, what do you think the youth getting the opportunity right now? What should be their focus as a youth in politics?
Like my brother Riley said earlier in his area submission, the youth of today, until once I Charlie, you man they don't want to come and sleep on it. Okay. They want to make a name. So in making a name, positive name, they want to go all out there to deliver. So the Chinabi we know because same time and this initiative was able to see the light of day and it's still running. And you say you understand. Yeah. So the youth is eager. They have the passion. They want to be result oriented. So just give them the chance. Let them come show what they get under them sleeves.
Well, we've all advocated for this, and finally we are seeing light to that. To those who have gotten the opportunity from this advocacy, what would be your advice to them, so that it wouldn't be like you regret a crash and
you know, first of all, we need a clear foresight. 10 years from now, what do we want to achieve as a country? Then we fish out the best guys who can do it. There's this computer scientist called Paul Azuri. Paul Azuri did the English to Tree translation before Google even did it.
Okay, sure.
Right? There are so many IT geniuses, guys, down here. I would love to see those guys in politics, because it's like, no matter the in-depth knowledge you have, they won't put you on. We have accepted it. But the youth of today would want to achieve something, like we've all been saying. They want something done. So if we have a clear picture of, by 10 years time, apps, now let's see what China is doing with artificial intelligence apps, TikTok. They are not just entertainment apps, they are spying apps. Right? The government is happy. My boys have been able to do this app and we are using it to track these people, blah blah blah. We can do the same. Not just with surveillance, but some sort of collaboration, some sort of collaboration conversation should happen. And when we have a clear-cut picture of where we want to be, then, and also I feel it should be like national policies. It doesn't depend who is in power. When you come, it's there.
You just need to
when you are buying a land, they give you this thing called site plan. It's been there from Kwame Nkrumah time. They know where the road is supposed to be. They know where an airport is supposed to be. So we can do the same. We can do the same to all our sectors, and we'll be very fine.
We will be very fine.
And to add a little to what my brother just said, you see, there's a saying that he who much is given, much is expected. We've been in this country whereby the OGs have criticized the youth to the extent that obicracy eti konton.
There's
no wisdom and
all we have is beer.
So once this has been the perception and the mind out there, once we are giving the nod, we need to go and prove a point. We can't fail. Otherwise, sad trimupona that over time, no. But you say, you're being outside the box. But look at the current regional minister in the Ashanti region. The OG that left and this young guy within a space of time. Are you getting it? So much has been given to us and much is expected. We can't fail. Because the critics out there, they are just waiting for the fall of the youth so that when when we get to the realms of affairs, they say that nah, youth in form in chain because they will still come and mess up.
Sure.
But when we're able to deliver and bring results, trust me, government will go, government will come.
Able to
always
deliver.
will be needed in the space.
It will be needed in the space.
With the young, with the youth politician in parliament, with the oldies, what are some of the challenges you think they will face in parliament? As in you being a political analyst, and I believe one day you would like to go into politics. What are some of the challenges you think that will come up with the youth being in parliament with the oldies as well?
I don't think it will be of a challenge because the Parliament of Ghana has always been a place that we learn. The OGs too, once upon a time, they came as youth.
Yeah.
And they were there learning, going through the parliamentary rudiments and processes and learning. So all that the youth ought to do is just let them humble themselves, go to the OGs that have been there over a period of time, and they've accumulated a lot of experience under their sleeves. And they will be willing, both the NDC and the MPP in the house, they will be willing to teach and groom you. So I believe humility must come in here. Don't be too bossy. Get to them and then they will show you the way.
I would disagree with you a bit.
Okay.
I think it would be a bit challenging.
Okay.
Imagine I'm a youth in my early 30s in parliament. I'm well abreast with technology. I know what's going on. And some OG would want things to be done with paper and pen.
Yeah.
It would take a while to convince him. He would want, Charlie, you need to keep record. The papers are supposed to there. You need to keep files. But these days, files be computers. You get it. So I think it will be very challenging convincing them.
Yeah, and in this instance, it's going to be like the youth is being stubborn. The OG wants it this way.
Let me.
Oh, I see. I'm not cutting short. Yeah. Like this. I had a son here, It's one of the changing, but I have problem with you. Get it? But like going forward, the Gen Zs to have their way, and only option. The world is changing.
You see,
let's change the narrative and then get the results.
In the media space, we had the print, the newspapers.
Okay.
They are fast fading. TVs, radio. These days, everybody is on Netflix, YouTube, streaming apps. We used to rent movies.
Yes.
We used to rent cassettes to watch.
All these things.
Back then, before you get a Nigerian movie to watch,
technology.
And they started with Ghana movie, the campaign, if you can remember, on TV.
Yes.
Now you pay a subscription $10 and you can watch as many movies as you want. And even that system won't be there forever. The same with radio. Now I can be here and listen to a radio station in New York. Right? So this dynamism, it will keep coming.
Okay.
But it's about time our old folks understand that pamuchawa newspaper no and they be on a radio, so you ever discuss it newspaper front page. You meant to be discuss a website front page. You get it? So things are moving and they just have to accept the fact that Charlie.
Great submission from both Fifi and Bexon. You are still with us on Ghana Talks Radio. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Join the conversation. We are looking forward to your views and your comments on our WhatsApp line 0202-544-614 0202-544-614 at Ghana Talks Radio on all our social media platforms, on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok and on X. As Fifi was saying, says I won't share the in your radio now what Ghana Talks Radio. Or for our phones says now call anywhere at all on all social media platforms. So Betty Enka or India or Gambaga or Betty Ghana Talks Radio and just hang on in there with us as we continue the conversation.
So I want to ask these questions. Likewise, the challenges that they are going to be facing with these oldies in Parliament. What are some of the success? Like, how can they be successful? Because with regards with what you mentioned, that they begin from campuses, and this is based on their loyalty to the party, but not to causing change to the government. What do you make of it?
Please come clear.
I said, how can they be successful in this game called politics as the youth?
Okay, I believe that like the question you're asking, we keep learning day in day out, and one thing that you continually do, you always get results because consistency has always been giving results. So along the line and then in the journey of whatever they are doing, people too might have stepped in similar shoes. They had their shortfalls. So it is more like a learning curve for you to get it right. So even though they are also on their own trying to get things done, there will be mistakes here and there. They will learn, get it right. Others too who are yet to follow, studying from a distance, will get to know where their shortfalls are, position themselves, get it right. Because politics hasn't just been a one-day kind of thing. From time immemorial, then Nkrumah era till today, it has gone through phases.
Sure.
So the youth, though, might have a challenge as they've stepped in, but once they are learning and they are getting it wrong, they'll be getting it right. Then we have that perfect breed and then the sense of direction that I want to go. So it is always a learning day to get it right. I think that is it.
Yeah, so that is it for youth in politics. We will definitely revisit this conversation some other day as the time goes on. What results from the youth that we are seeing given the opportunity now. 6 months time, you better baby.
That is it.
And now 6 months.
Oh, you bet me. Even the months, just a few days.
Sure. Moving on to our next topic, and this topic it's something that I've been looking forward to. And today, we are lucky to have the insightful Fifi here. Fifi has been in the media space for long. That's symbol Edinkra.
He's part of the purpose.
But we actually we really acknowledge all that you've done in the media space in Ghana as a young man. And this goes back to giving the youth the chance. He's still looking young, but he has been in the game for long. So it tells you how young he was when he was. So Fifi, that was what you might Nini na ka mbi nyende ye nyina ye opportunity. Ka ye betwe ama ya boji nyina
so the pace setters is part and well done. Kudos to you.
Kudos to you. Now, social media influence and blogging, this content creating and all that stuff. Social media as a whole. Growing up, we are in with social media, but as time goes on, then I can first na CDs, first can I cassette, piano and I buy CD, and fade it. Say I should be a
Walkman in a buy
Walkman buy. Now you crowd walk the bag, they are so much. Some person musical for I don't know how to move.
Walkman, Dixman, and a radio now me a scan.
And Fifi, he has been to.
We saw that.
He's been part of the revolution.
Yeah. So, social media, they're taking over in the media space. What has become of it ever since social media took over?
Let me start off with Facebook. The whole concept of Facebook was taking the real world to the internet. Right? If I see you on the street and I want to make friends with you, yo, Charlie, what's up? Then okay, the same thing they do for the online day. So somebody had a concept and applied it. Okay, let me do this. Okay, you want to back then Uko Bifia your mouth photo album.
And that was
and that alcohol the whole table so then you go see the family pictures and all that. Okay. These days we have Instagram to serve that purpose. Back then we were doing SMS. If I want to send you a message, I just text it. You have it, SMS. Okay. This time around, instead of using the SMS credit, let me use data. WhatsApp came up. So they are all different concepts that come together. Now talk of social media influencing. People and brands, companies have come to understand that people purchase products based on what they see on the internet. So if, let's say, I have a product that's not so good, but everybody is saying it's excellent, then I get people to buy it. That's where social media influencing come in. It's now more like a very superpower tool used all over the world. And there's some sort of psychology whereby it's more like a science. People study to know that, okay, people buy this product because celebrity A or that said that it's good, and they trust. Charlie, celebs be some superpower. If a celeb say that, yo, this thing be good, people don't go ask why. Oh, Nana Ma said it's good, Auntie Ifua said it's bad, you know. So people are tapping into that space, and it has its all pros and cons. But it's about time we analyze it and we pick the good ones, and if we can work out the bad, we do it.
But you know, Beck, I'll come to you, but I want to ask something from what Fifi just said, that based on that psychology we see that influence of social media which has become, is it really serving us right? Because I mean, me a brand ambassador, me a celebrity, maybe a Fifi to Pabwa, Wabehum. Me a wama me bita, me share 3 days na why minim se Pabwa nenye. But yenim to me a sikawo. Fifi why can't me. Then I go on the internet, I advertise Fifi's products because I have huge followers. People, I mean, they dig me. Actually, PK, I'm just leading them astray.
There is this, I wouldn't mention name, but it has to do with bleaching creams. Bleaching creams. You get a story. So there are 2 celebs advertising a particular product. 2 different celebs. They are all females. They are advertising for a particular brand. I wouldn't mention the name of the brand. One used the product, some skin effect, right? The other used the product, no skin effect. And along the line, they had issues with the brand. So the one who had skin defect now came to pour everything out. Yo, the product said, you know, good, blah blah blah.
I think I know.
And and the one who didn't have any effect was like, oh, this one they lie, everything was good. You get it? But it all goes down to the Food and Drugs Board and all these authorities. Charlie, they need to keep these things in check.
Because I was actually coming to that. I was going to ask how do we put these things in?
I feel they are also not abreast with the internet. They never saw it coming. They didn't think that there would be a time social media would be this powerful tool.
So
they thought it was all just kids going on there to have fun, dance and all that. But now, Charlie, FDA is banning advertisements on alcohol, but they can't do it on the internet.
Sure.
You can't tell me that, oh, I have to wait till 8 p.m. before I post something about alcohol. So the internet is super powerful. I think it's been underestimated.
It's been underestimated. Taking me to this question, do you think we've actually tapped into the real potency, up to the peak of social media? Do you think so? And I'll come to you, Beck.
Thank you. I believe the social media has now become the new age. Even look at how we were even running campaigns prior to the COVID. it was difficult assembling people here and there. But the power of the media, people were able to just create the awareness, be able to post political manifestos, like advertising on political advertisement and stuff like that on the internet. And people will sit in the comfort of their home and be able to monitor that space and be able to even make an informed decision, go to the ballot box and then do the needful.
Okay.
So I should tell you that the media has come to stay, and we don't necessarily have to be doing things the old way, because with a hash click on the button, you're able to get the information that you need at your disposal to do whatever you want to do with it. So it is in a way has also come to complement the way and manner we do things, even this time in a more innovative manner.
Okay.
So to put it.
Okay. Fifi.
Yeah. Well, social media has a lot to offer. A lot to offer. And you see these AI tools that we are all talking about, ChatGPT, there are more powerful tools out there.
Wow.
They are super powerful. China just released the DeepSeek. Yeah. There's so much the internet could do that we are not even aware of.
Wow.
But I think it's about time the Ghanaian youth learn.
Okay.
Machine learning, quantum, robotics. They are just to make life easy.
Okay.
The whole I'm a computer scientist, right?
Okay.
One thing with computing is the basics is make life easy for people. So day in and day out, people are looking for problems and finding ICT solutions to them.
Okay.
Back then, if you need information, you go to Google. Oh, who is Fifi Edinkra?
Yeah.
But today, you can open your ChatGPT and type who is Fifi Edinkra, and they will give you everything about him. Yeah, it makes it easy. Instead of going to Google, clicking different links one after the other, you can just open your AI and tap. It gives you everything instantly. And I feel we are not even prepared for it. The world, not just Ghana, the world is not prepared for. That's why some people are saying it's dangerous. Because it can do anything. Excuse me, I can go on an AI and say, yo, teach me how to create a bomb.
Yeah.
It's the thing is a robot. It has no emotions, no feelings, no religious affiliation, no political affiliations. So it's more like honest as possible. It's now that they are trying to tune it a bit, but they are not even done with the whole tuning.
Okay.
There was a blast some days ago that the person used AI to create the bomb.
Wow.
And so I think Charlie, a lot is coming. A lot is coming.
To you, we haven't even seen.
The slightest problem we have is people losing their jobs. That's just the tip of it. And that's the conversation people keep having. AI is coming to take our jobs. No. AI, it won't even take your job. It might not even take your job. But what it will do is amazing. Let me give you another example. You see cars. The latest we have is if you have a problem with your car, they slot in a device. It can give you details about your car, where the problem is. Now we have an app for that. No need for me to connect a gadget to the car. I just connect the car to my phone and it will tell me, Charlie, your starter spoiled or something.
Diagnosis.
So people have crazy apps, but one defect that I think is going on is the marketing of it, the promotion of it, right? If you go to our universities and see the kind of apps boys are creating, right? I know of a team trying to create an app which is used to detect skin disease.
Wow.
So if you see any rashes, you take a photo of the rashes and it will tell you, Charlie, this thing may be that or that.
Okay.
Wow. Ghana here.
Yeah, when it's out, I'll let you have a feel of it.
I would love to. But see, before we move on there, I want to use this opportunity to give this unofficial announcement. The Ghana Talks Radio, I mean, we are the voice for the youth.
Yeah.
We are the voice for the youth. So shout outs to the youth there. Shout outs to Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice. Now, in ways that we are giving the youth a voice is this. We've come up with a segment for the youth, the Come Up session on Ghana Talks Radio, where any entrepreneur or people innovating stuff, like Fifi just mentioned, we want to give them a platform here. Come and talk about it. Let people know what you're up to.
Yes,
sell it, market it freely. Ghana Talks Radio.
And do you know that Shatawale's Shazi app was designed in Ghana by a Ghanaian?
I never knew.
Wow.
Uber, Bolt are all foreign. Yeah. But Shazi was created by a Ghanaian.
Wow. So, really, if we are to give them a chance, they are going to come up.
Yes.
So. Okay, so Fifi, you can.
Yeah, so all I'm saying is to end it, AI, I would say, is dangerous.
Okay.
It's very dangerous, both in a very positive way and a dangerous, like the harmful way.
Okay.
We have something we call deep fake. I can take a photo of your face, upload it on the internet. I can get every photo of you out there. So if these days, if somebody is texting you with some fake photo or you just dump it, you get all the information about the person. You know, there are so many crazy AI things. I think in India, somebody used deepfake to create the president giving a message which was false.
Wow.
And circulated it.
Wow.
People couldn't. And what people don't know is it keeps refining.
Okay.
It keeps the developers of these apps, they keep fine-tuning it so that the AI would be as human as possible.
Okay.
I think Elon Musk released the robot, which is more like a personal assistant, a human being thing, like full human being. Yeah. So it costs, I think, $20,000. You buy it, you put it in your house. It's more like your assistant. Yo, go and fetch me this. The robot does it for you.
Wow. So this goes back to people getting scared that it's going to take jobs away.
And in as much as it's going to take jobs, it's also going to create jobs. Because if my brother has designed an AI which does this, I would want to also create another app which does a different thing. Google has an AI, Microsoft has an AI. I think Apple also integrated artificial intelligence on their so they even have some kind of competition in there. Everybody is trying to be like, yo, I have the most powerful one.
It's crazy.
Charlie, more to come.
More to come.
Okay. So taking us back to the social media influencers, in your submission you made it clear that social media influencers are there to convince or persuade people to buy from a particular brand. And then I believe that social media influencers can make and then unmake a brand. So let's take it for instance, you FP as a brand, before you employ the services or recruit the services of a social media influencer, what are some of the criteria or what are some of the things you look out for before you employ their services? Now,
before Fifi, you answer this, I want you to answer a question to lead it to her answer. Who is a social media influencer?
The answer is in your question. Anybody who has the ability to influence.
Okay.
It's not about even the number of followers.
Oh, really?
It's not about the number of followers.
But doesn't it play a role?
Now let me answer your question. Before I select people to influence for me, we have engagement, right? The engagement is if the person puts up a post, what's the reach like?
Okay.
Does it stay within the person's followers or is able to cut across? Let me give you an example. You see TikTok, they have the most craziest algorithm. It doesn't matter your number of followers you have on TikTok, but your post can get millions of views. If you steady, these days you get on TikTok, excuse my words, like somebody, you know, be anybody killer like that, you know, be any popular person. Then the person, the number of followers and views the person has, it will shock you. So the engagement and sometimes who the person is outside the media space. Right, also helps in taking that decision. And you need to know the product and who you are picking. If I'm selling something which is religious, let's say some Bible or Christian kind of content, we have influencers in that industry, so you go in for them. But if you are using a wrong influencer for a wrong product, that's when you lose. And there's this conversation going on that Ghanaian influencers don't sell products.
Is it true?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's true, but I think it's the problem with the marketing managers or the brand. Yes, because
they
don't pick the right people.
Okay.
Let's say I'm selling gadgets, expensive gadgets, and I'm advertising it. I wouldn't want to mention the platform, but I'm selling it on a platform which is more like having kids or low income earners.
Okay.
You might have 1 million followers on that platform, but you can't sell a Lamborghini. Because your audience, none of them can afford a Lamborghini.
So the impact wouldn't be worth it.
Okay.
But there are certain platforms that somebody might not have huge numbers there, but a person would be able to sell a 1 million car. So it's not a straightforward clear cut. These days people just wake up. I'm a music person, right? I deal in music. My job is to make songs a hit. Before I pick people I'm going to work with on a particular project, a lot goes in there. Because the bigger picture is make the song popular. And the question is, who can make the song popular? You don't just pick anybody. If let's say you have good numbers and your fans are not that music oriented, you can't sell my song for me. So I would end it with conversations or deep analysis coming into play before you choose, even to which platform. If I'm selling a party, right? Let's say I'm having a house party or a poolside party, and my target is 200 people. I wouldn't sell it on Facebook.
Why?
I'll sell it on Snapchat.
Why?
You know, it's more like a lifestyle.
Okay.
And you look at your audience. Where are they? The people I would want them to come to that party. Where are they?
Okay.
If I'm selling a corporate thing, a corporate workshop, conference kind of thing, I won't sell it on Snapchat. I'll sell such a thing on LinkedIn, where the tie and suit people
So at every point in time, you know your target market.
You know
where to go and sell the product.
Yeah. And let's say, I'll give examples so that you understand everything I'm trying to say. Let's say I have a song, a very danceable, high tempo dancing song, and the aim is let the song go viral.
This one I'll answer.
What?
TikTok.
You can't sell such a product on Facebook. You can't sell. You can't do such a thing on Instagram. But they are all social media platforms. 10 people on TikTok using a song for a video, and 10 people on Facebook using a song for a video. Trust me, the TikTok one would shoot that. So it all goes down to people should employ the experts. Don't apply the same templates to everything. And let me end with the last analysis. If I'm building a brand, which I know that in the near future future being, let's say next week, people would want to go and Google to know more about the product. I wouldn't even use social media. I'll just use the website. Because if I publish something on all the social media platforms and you Google it, Google is not so good with tracking information from social media. It's rather fetches information from websites. You get it? Like myself, okay, I know that people would want to know more about Fifi Edinkra. If I make 1 million posts on Facebook, Charlie, still they not go see.
Sure.
You get it? Like your radio. If you know that, oh, people would want to check out where are they, what do they talk about, blah blah blah. You provide those information not on social media, and even what I'm using is TikTok. It's all about videos, not even text.
Yes.
Nobody goes on TikTok to write a long essay.
But I think now they've made it.
Yeah, but people don't do it.
Okay.
If you have a long text, the LinkedIn is there. Kofi Kinata is very popular on LinkedIn.
Wow.
Yeah. If they are to list the top 100 people on LinkedIn from Ghana, Kofi Kinata would be in there.
Wow.
People don't even know about it.
Wow.
Most of his corporate gigs, he's getting them from LinkedIn.
Wow.
Wow.
That's interesting.
But
Amazing.
you know,
That is
social media
interesting.
be some super powerful tool. People have content, they just leave it on their WhatsApp. Within 24 hours, your WhatsApp status goes.
Yeah.
And WhatsApp status, only your friends and family they watch.
That was it.
But meanwhile, the product you are selling, you know very well that your mom or dad won't buy it. Your sister won't buy it.
That's very true.
But the thing is on your WhatsApp. Then at the end of the day, oh, challenge me, Tom Crow, Bianto. But you they post down for your WhatsApp.
Wrong targeting.
Yeah,
Wrong targeting.
So there's a lot to it.
So with this, answering this question, have you got an answer? I want to ask you something.
Yeah.
So with that, who needs to make the right decision regarding selling of brands?
I love Donald Trump. I love Elon Musk. I love Bill Gates. Let me tell you something these people have in common. All they have is the bigger picture. All they have is the bigger picture. Elon Musk knows that someday it's even crazy. Someday this earth will spoil. So he's like, I want to create another world in another planet so that people will go and stay there. That's how crazy the guy thinks. And I want to make it easy for people to travel from here to that place. That's Elon Musk aerospace. The whole concept, that's the basics of it. He has another crazy idea. Fuel, petrol, oil, all these things. A day will come, they will get depleted. So I want cars to run on batteries so that we can save them. That's how crazy their ideas is. And trust me, all they have is the ideas. And then they employ the best people to make it a reality. And one thing people fail to understand is when you are offering a good product, people don't mind the cost. People don't really mind the cost. Once they know that, oh, Charlie, this headset be durable, it gives killer sound, they don't care how much it costs. Back then, computing was all black and white. Code. Then DOS, MS-DOS. Bill Gates be like, yo, Charlie, let's make it more visual. He brought up Windows. And that's it.
Wow. Wow. Well, social media influencing, no matter what, it has come to stay. What are the opportunities in being, and when we talk of influencers, we're also talking about like bloggers as well. They are all What are some of the opportunities in this space? Content creation, influencing, blogging.
It's unlimited.
Whoa.
It's unlimited.
I'm seated.
It's unlimited. You know, the big question is, what do you want? What's the bigger picture? You, the influencer, what do you want to achieve?
Okay.
Is it money? These days, every platform can be monetized.
Okay.
Twitter can be monetized. I put up a tweet. The more people read, the more money I make.
Wow.
It's very basic like that.
Yeah.
The same with Instagram. The same with TikTok. The same with Facebook. The same with YouTube. So, in terms of money, people are cashing out from these platforms. It's all about knowing, okay, I want to monetize my Facebook. You just need to know the requirements and the procedure. Okay, so now that I know the requirements, I have to work on the requirement. You get a requirement, you apply, they check your content out, they approve you. And there are also what I will call smart moves. Smart moves is, okay, if Facebook advertising or monetization isn't available to Ghanaians, okay, my brother in UK, US can do it on my behalf. And there's this form of, I know a brother living in Ghana working for TikTok.
Okay.
As big as TikTok is, if TikTok needs Ghanaian influencers to do something for them,
He's the one
they
follow him.
So even TikTok knows that, yo, this guy is powerful.
Wow.
Though they created a bar, they know that this guy is powerful. He doesn't have 1 million followers. That should tell you that, yo, the whole yepe followers. Nah, let me chip in this one. See Jamaican musicians. They are super popular all over the world. But compare our Ghanaian musicians to Jamaican musicians. It will surprise you to know that most of our Ghanaian musicians have social media followers than the Jamaican musicians.
Okay.
But in the real world, they are nowhere close to Sizzla or any of these guys. You get it? So it be broad. There's a whole lot. You can do a whole lot. I've forgotten this guy's name. There's a guy who doesn't talk. Does viral short videos. He doesn't make a sound. And there's this joke about him that this guy is making 1 million without making a sound. And none of his videos is even more than 2 minutes. But he's making huge.
Wow.
He's making huge. And you will ask yourself, okay, how is he making it? The platforms are paying, brands are paying for placement. It be management.
Okay.
It be management. And you can't know it all in a day.
It takes time.
Definitely you need to employ people and to learn. You take it, and lucky enough, we have university courses now. So people can graduate from secondary school, go to the university and say, I want to learn some digital marketing or how to do this or how to do that. And even if you can't afford the universities, Google have courses, Udemy, these online universities, they provide courses on all these things. If you want to learn how to create art, how to do this, I think the youth are not motivated enough.
Okay. In the space of influencing.
Yes.
Why do you say so?
I love this. I think they are not motivated enough in the sense that they see it as just the popularity.
Okay.
They are like, oh, you'd be popular, nothing else, you might. But popularity, you should be able to convert it into money.
But Fifi, wait. Even me, influencing, to me, it's all about popularity.
Okay.
Are you saying I can actually make a living out of influencing?
Bro, these days, the very least anybody will charge you for making a post on social media is 500 cedis.
That's the least.
That's the least. Even these guys coming up, the very least they will take you. It doesn't matter the platform. They'll be like, oh, Charlie, bring some 1,000, some 500. How many posts are they making a day? Multiply it by a month.
Data price.
Oh, data. The internet is like the list of their bills.
Wow.
The cost of internet is the list of the you can make a whole career out of it.
Okay, so Fifi, with this thing that you said, I'm speaking for all our audience listening to it right now. heard you talk about influencing. You've just convinced me that I can make a living out of being an influencer.
Yeah.
Fifi, how do I make a living out of influencing?
Some 15, 16 years ago,
yeah,
I asked that my older brother this question.
Okay.
Some 15, 16 years ago, I asked that my older brother. And you know my older brother very well, right?
Yeah.
He went to the university to study publishing. Whatever he's doing now, he went to the university to learn it. So I always say that he's one of the few people who went to the university to do this. Most of us did different courses. I have an accounting background. I have computer science. I have no certificate in influence, right? But all I will say is, you just need, I call it tips and tricks.
Okay.
Tips and tricks. You talk to the expert. Yo, Charlie, I want to do this. How do I do it? Most people will be willing to teach you.
Okay.
You know, back then when we started blogging, the concept was more traffic, more money. The higher number of people you get to visit your website, the more money you make.
Okay.
When we started, there was nothing like Facebook. There was nothing like Instagram. There was nothing like TikTok. There was nothing like social media.
Okay.
So the funny question is, so how were we able to get our traffic?
Yeah.
Okay.
How did you do it?
It takes a lot. It takes a lot because I'll give you another example. Ghana Web is owned by two white old men. They are old now.
Okay.
These are two men in the States who felt like, yo, let's take internet to Africa. So they go to Nigeria, they create a website for them. They come to Ghana, they create Ghana Web. They go to the SA, they create a website for them. So basically, they felt like, yo, there's no these countries don't have news portals.
Yeah.
It always starts with a vision. It's always one thing with ICT is it starts with a vision. Okay, I want to do this. Then you just start rolling.
Okay. What are the tools? Let me just the tools, the materials I need as a person to brand myself as an influencer if I am to make a living or a career out of it.
The important tool is knowledge. The most important, you don't have to stop learning.
Okay.
Some of us are still learning, and I don't know anyone out there who is not learning, because these social media platforms that you see them, they switch some on even monthly basis. So you realize this month you post, oh, people they like comments. Next month you post, people know they mind you. They keep changing. You need to keep abreast daily.
Okay.
Google changes every time. Facebook changes. So the first and foremost is knowledge, and then we come to the gadget. The gadget, there is this conversation as to affordability and the best. Right? If you can afford the very best one, go for it. But if you can't afford the best, because these days people would like to watch videos in high quality.
Okay.
They would want to see clear-cut pictures. And these social media, funny enough, the social media platforms are also designed that, oh, if I shoot in a low quality and you shoot in a high quality, they will give more audience to yours than me.
Okay.
People don't even know this.
About this.
Right? So even if you can get good quality, and I said earlier that people are now buying products based on quality. Yo, Charlie, I like this thing because it's good. That's all.
Okay.
So you get a gadget, the smartest, the fastest. Time is of the essence. Like, you want the fastest PC, the fastest internet. You have options, maybe 2 or 3 internet services on standby, just in case it slows down here. You make the quick switch, right? And the daily learning, the tools. You ask friends, yo, Charlie, how do I do this? Charlie, how do I do that? Yeah.
Okay. Now, with all this in-depth analysis and education you just given us, I'm going to throw a big shot to both Fifi and Don Bexon. Social media, influencing, content creation, and blogging. As a state, as a nation, as a country. And Fifi, you have been in the media space for long.
Yeah.
So, do you think we've actually made a sense of it as a country? Now, the reason I'm asking this, I was listening to someone somewhere, and he said Nigerians sold their crafts through content creation to the world. One of the things that drew my mind after, analyzing what the person said, I was just assassin and cashier and chairman. But and I was like, you know what? I've never been to America before.
Okay. Yeah.
Most of these American celebrities, I don't know them.
Yeah.
But you got to know them through the movies, the music videos.
In fact, I can tell you about 80% of a celebrity in America who have never only crossed me as a state.
Okay.
Through Hollywood. They channeled Hollywood to sell their stars, their nation, their crafts, music, movies, everything.
I wouldn't want to talk much on this. I'll touch on it briefly. Elsewhere, governments are involved. In the States, the government is involved. The whole Hollywood is like having Kumasi as the city is like a studio.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything happens there.
Yeah.
The states understand that we can sell America through entertainment. So Ghana, you can't walk into a bank and say, I'm a musician, offer me a loan. It doesn't happen because our industry is as risky that we don't even have receipts. We don't keep records. Right? The whole analysis is extremely bad. So elsewhere, the state is involved. The state invests heavily. Game of Thrones was on billions of dollars. B.O.B. Billion, like characters were taking $1 billion.
Charlie.
$1 billion per season. $1 billion per season. So just imagine how much they are paying for the whole production.
Because
now
the characters were
now analyze it from this angle. Where were they getting the funding from? Game of Thrones was like 6-7 seasons. Yeah. Where were they getting the funding from? That is what Ghanaians, our state, is failing at. It's failing to recognize that this thing has a strong potential, not just for money making, but to also sell our culture. The movie industry worldwide experienced a crisis. Right? The whole movie industry experienced a crisis. The Ghanaian collapsed. The Nigerians took it to YouTube.
True.
The Ghanaian industry collapsed. The Nigerians were like, nah, we won't go down.
Okay.
You bear with me. These days, you check on YouTube. Thousands of music movies are there. They realized that they started shooting skits, short videos on social media, and they have this sense of patriotism.
Yeah.
But Ghana, Charlie, once that you know they benefit me, I wouldn't do it. But there they are like, nah, they do one for my country. They do one. That's what it's all about. So I think, and also, there's this thing, I'll use the word hate for it. The taxing.
The tax.
Charlie, why should I pay tax to advertise on Facebook? If I'm advertising on Facebook for my product to be sold, why should you charge me for that? It's very appalling, the taxes on certain things. It doesn't happen.
Okay.
And the Nigerians are like, it's a conscious movement, Charlie. We want to promote our country. they are trying to own even high life music now.
Yeah.
They did it to Afrobeat.
Yeah.
And just yesterday or so few days ago, they are trying to touch.
Yes.
And they are good with it. So it's about time we also recognize that, yo, Charlie, we need to do something.
So it's more like they intentionally.
We are not intentional enough.
So we are not intentional.
We are not intentional in. If you could remember, Nigerian movies at a point had these village scenes.
Yeah,
a lot.
Yeah.
The village scenes.
Yeah.
They started the whole juju, Isakaba kind of thing. They could have done the luxury ones, but we were just, excuse my word, fooling. Our movies was just comedy, full of insults.
Yes.
But that's not our culture.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. You understand? Our culture isn't to insult elderly people, make fun of people. Fine, it's entertainment. Fine. But in as much as we are entertaining, there should be a conscious reasoning to sell our culture.
Wow.
I have a friend who always says, how long can you continue fooling? How long can you continue entertaining people?
Okay.
It's very good to entertain, but how long can you do it? So are you going to do it at the expense of your culture? So how about you take the conscious decision that, I'm going to sell my culture. See Indian movies.
Yeah. We've got to know about
even the romantic ones. You feel the Indian element in there.
Okay. So in this space, in this aspect, what would you suggest to the government to do? I mean, how do we tap into the potential of social media influencing, content creation, blogging, to make revenue as a country, which is going to benefit each and every one as citizens?
I would like the big man to touch on that one.
Well, thank you. I think, like my boss has rightly articulated it out there, there should be deliberate policy, just deliberate policy, to make sure that some of these things are just putting in place to get the results. Because per all the analysis that is made, it has its own driving force, and the benefit it comes to the individual and by extension the country as a whole.
Okay.
So why and how can't we deliberately put things in place and make sure that the needed things that they need, whether tax exemption or whatever, like let's engage stakeholder consultation here and there, and then have a forward march for it so that we can all accrue the benefit thereof.
Is it that we haven't really the industry players in this sector, the influencing, the content creation, is it that they haven't really made it attractive yet? Let me put it in Ghana.
For me, they are doing their bit, but maybe
so making it attractive to the government.
Yes, the government.
You know,
because you were talking about how certain countries
deliberately
invest in that.
It's not just with the whole blogging thing.
Okay,
we are failing in all sectors. The whole entertainment thing, we are failing to recognize the business aspect of it. That's all. In simple terms, that's all. If you ask someone, how much do you spend on your marketing of a song or the whole total expense, you'll be now that they come think, I pay this person that. They don't put paper and pen
record keeping
to it. Wow. It's the same with the movies.
Okay,
it's the same with the movies, and elsewhere it's not like that. There's a proper record keeping. I have a friend who made a deal with Markangel Comedy, tens of thousands of dollars. Right? They've understood that this thing is business. Don Jazzy is a musician.
Yeah.
You think he can't sing?
Yeah.
He can't write song. He can't do it himself. But he recognizes that now, Charlie make us sit back. Richie.
Yeah.
He's also a musician.
Yeah.
There are people who have understood the business side of things. Okay, I'm Rich Mens, I can sing, write, produce, direct, everything. Now I won't do it again. even though I can do it, I won't do it again. I am employing Kwame Eugene Kidi to do it. I pay them. That's it. Basically, that's the whole thing.
Okay.
Don Jazzy, the same thing. Okay, I can do it, but I won't do it. I'm employing people to do it, then I pay them. But here, if you are not careful, the musician thinks you don't even know what to use your money for.
Okay.
You are just throwing it on me, or they think, oh, you like their movie or music so much, and you just want to dash them money. When you approach the entertainment scene like that, it's an automatic failure ahead of you. The business is very, very important.
Okay. So, in this aspect, is it the states that failed the institution, or the institution has failed the state?
In both ways.
In both ways.
In both ways, in the sense that, one, the state is not investing.
Okay.
In people, in the whole music industry. See,
but
musicians have been calling for a logging system since time immemorial. Like, they just want a proper record keeping of songs. It's not even difficult, and people have even done it. Like, this song was played 10 times. This song was. That's what the musician is asking for. Create a software that monitors radio and TV everywhere to keep me records of.
Just like we get from Spotify.
Yeah, Spotify, Apple Music can tell you where your listeners are coming from, at what time they listen to your song, how many, even the length they listen to it.
Sure.
The musician is asking for a similar thing.
Okay.
Provide me with a software that can give me that analysis. But I don't have that.
If you see, our time is almost up, but I mean, let's touch on this one. You were saying that sometimes when people want to invest, it's more like, let's say the player, the musician or whatever, thinks you don't even know what to do with your money.
Yeah.
Don't you think in this case that is why, in fact, the states might not even be willing to, because he sees that the players of this industry are not even serious.
They are serious guys out there.
They are serious guys.
Super serious guys out there. I'm not good with names. There's this guy running Good Music.
Okay.
Good Music. They have a venue around Accra Mall. That's where Kweku Smoke held his concert. Yeah. That guy is investing heavily into Ghana music, but on the low key.
Okay.
This logging system, he has his own. If you want to know where your songs are played, maybe your song blow for Techiman, you don't know. He can tell you that they are playing your songs over there.
Really?
He has a software which monitors all radio stations.
That's great.
There are people doing very, very, very well, but the whole problem is they know they like shout out. Those people themselves know they like shout out, and the government too, should I say, isn't ready for that conversation. Movies, the whole entertainment thing, movies, football, music. It's obvious football, they chop the money past.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
But if, let's say, they are giving 10% of what footballers are taking to music, all the shows you are seeing, the big concerts you saw, it be the musicians that are own money. Some would even go and borrow to just impress, make a very big show. But imagine if the government be like, yo, I'll create a venue, a bigger space which can accommodate. We don't even have a 20,000 seater here. So if you are investing tens of thousands into a show, it's like obvious you lose. If you invest huge money, you lose because you don't have a bigger space to accommodate a large number of people.
Before we end our conversation, what do you think should be done from both parties, the players and the government?
Thank you. I think there should be that consensus building so that it will help all of us. Because I think in our space, they all acknowledge the fact that the social media thing has come to stay, and then it has its positive implication in our doing.
Okay.
Look at the brilliant campaign that the NDC put on prior to the 20. They just ended the election. Stand up was super in terms of the branding and so on and so forth.
Sure.
They never slept, even though the groundswell was ongoing, but they made good use of the internet. All the social media handles we can mention of. So they all accept the fact that
it has rules to play in our developmental drive.
Okay.
Let us stakeholder engage. Let's speak to the right people. Let's bring them on board. Let's know where their concerns are. Okay. Then genuinely we can address them, and it will be part of the income generation as a country to put our country on the map. I think that's the way to go.
That's the way to go. Fifi,
bro,
wrapping it up with us, what Bexin just said is the entertainment industry structured very well. The media, space, structured very well to make such a case from the government.
We don't even have an industry.
That's I intentionally asked this controversial question.
We don't have an industry. There is no structure. Wow. You see, let's talk about football. There is a FA, the ministry, the FA, the Division 1, Division 2.
To the coast.
They have a structure.
But we don't have
like a footballer will be like, oh, before I get to the top, I need to play. I don't know much about football. I need to play coast level. Before you get to the top, even the national team, they know that they have the under this, under that.
Sure.
Musician, we don't.
Okay.
We don't have academies. We don't have writing clubs. Our copyright system is based on I think your song is played. Charlie.
Well, that was the insightful Fifi giving us so much education on the media space this morning with our ever brilliant Bexon Otre in the studios on Ghana Talks Radio this morning. It has been a brilliant discussion. It has been a healthy discussion which has educated us so much more on things that I myself didn't even know. There's something they said there. Celebrities are making money. You are my celebrity. So we thank you for making time with us this morning, and we will be coming your way same time tomorrow. And tomorrow we are having our first episode of the Come Up session, where we give platforms to young upcoming entrepreneurs who has built things, who are into business, showcasing. We are giving them the platform freely to come and tell Ghanaians what they have for the world. So thank you, and we will see you same time. Up next is DJ Rock. Stay tuned.
Thank you.